what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
And we are live. Greetings to our loyal WFYL listeners around the world. Welcome back to your Philadelphia live stream, only on the Freedom Station. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again, because you still have the right to hear and the right to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike G. As always, with me are Philly Chris, Russ the producer, and Liberty Lee. And you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters. And you can listen to our program every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So let's be heard. I want to remind our listeners that you can participate in the free and open exchange of thoughts and ideas throughout the entire week by visiting MikeGinTheMorning.com. What's it called, Philly Chris?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
How about you, Russ?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
Liberty, are you there?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
You can check out all of our previous episodes. You can get the link to this very live stream, listen to WFYL Live, and catch up with all the Philly Chris and Mike G shenanigans through our YouTube channel. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber, tell your Uncle Jerry, tell anybody who listen to check us out at MikeGinTheMorning.com. I also want to remind our listeners about the Powerhouse Lineup we've got here at the Freedom Station. Kick off your mornings with Scott Adams, bringing you the Scott Adams Show weekdays from 9 a.m. until 11. We've got the Kinetic Faith, featuring friend of the Mike G in the Morning program, Rick Crump, preaching values, service, and order, weekdays at 11 a.m. We've got the one, the only, Dan the Man Bongino, bringing you the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from noon until 3 p.m. Intellectual giant, the headliner, Ben Shapiro, bringing you the Ben Shapiro Show, weekdays at 3 p.m. And finally, he is a welcomed addition to the Freedom Station family. We've got Michael Knowles, bringing you the Michael Knowles Show weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. So don't forget to tune in and show him some love. And with that, you know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hit it, Russ.
You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
No, Chris, I told you that I had a loyal listener approach me at the Great American Outdoor Show on my way out the door and say, buckle up and enjoy the ride. I had another gentleman this week approach me, said, Mike G. He said, I love you and Philly Chris. So you're getting a shout out from people on the street as well. People
That's
love
awesome.
Philly Chris.
Well, I love them, Michael. Peace and love, everybody.
I've got to give you a lot of credit. I had to run back and listen to last week's episode after the fact because obviously I had a previous engagement that had me tied up during the first hour of the program. It was great to join you thereafter.
Yeah, thanks.
And I heard you do my intro word for word. It was hysterical.
I typed it out. I made myself a little cheat sheet.
Wow.
I don't have your memory, especially after 120 years in the Senate, you know.
That was pretty fantastic.
Thanks, man.
The only thing you would have to do to perfect the Mike G impression would be drink 2 cans of Monster before you did it, right?
I'll remember that next time if there's a next time.
You do drink 2 cans of Monster, you'd be absolutely spot on. Maybe spend 20 years of your life in Brooklyn, New York. That's
there we go.
The only suggestion I can add there. We've got quite the Mike G in the Morning family joining us in the comments here. We see DJ coming back. We've got Brian Harper. We've got Rita. We've got Stax Farmstead. We've got Roselle and Jeremy Miller.
Now.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Welcome, the Mike G in the Morning family.
Yeah.
You know, somebody from the Mike G in the Morning family wrote in and had an interesting idea for a topic. I wanted to run it by you, Philly Chris. I'm going to put everybody on the spot. I didn't previously tell everybody to prepare for this, but I think it will be fun.
All right.
We had a listener write in and ask if we can talk about what our first paying job was.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Billy, Chris, what was your first paying job?
That's a good question. Would that be like, I mean, I had a paper route when I was
Okay.
a kid, so
Did you
I
get
guess that
paid?
oh yeah, I got paid. I got
Then
paid.
that would qualify as a paying
Yeah.
job.
Did you
Yeah,
report it
paper
on your taxes?
I forget. I think so. If I was supposed to, I did. Yeah.
Look who it is, Philly, Chris.
Amanda, hey, the champ.
Hi.
We gotta get the song
Champ
going,
is
Philly,
back.
Chris.
Champ is
Champ
back.
is here.
Woohoo!
Made
Welcome
it.
back.
If we can't play the song, we'll get taken off of YouTube.
Right.
Champ, we were just talking about somebody wrote into the program, wanted to know what our first paying job was. So I'm going to hit you over the head with that. The second you come onto the program, what was your first paying job?
Does getting paid $1 working for my father count as my first paying job?
Well, you were paid, so in the truest sense of the word, you were paid.
Yes.
What did you do for your father?
So my dad is a stonemason, and I was the mud lady who brought the cement to him, or the bricks, or the whatever rocks he needed. And for an entire day, I got paid $1.
Did you say?
Smart
I'm gonna
man.
have to negotiate your contracts from here on out, Champ.
He's
Yeah.
a good lawyer, apparently.
Assistance, can you help me?
Yeah.
Did you say Mud Lady? Was that the title there?
That is what he would call me, the
Mud Lady, hauling for cement. That's pretty cool. What was your second paying job?
Second paying job was working at a pharmacy.
And did they pay you $1 for the day?
No, I made
No.
minimum wage. But the best job I had after that was working at the funeral home as a greeter. So I welcomed people, gave them tissues, took their jackets, did X, Y, and Z. That
And
nice.
you said it was the best one. You enjoyed that?
Yeah, it was nice. I was the light, happy part of somebody's not so great day.
I can see that. I can see that. How long did you end up doing that for?
Maybe just a year or 2 years. It was in the small town, so whenever they needed extra help, just went and helped.
And bring in the righty, right? The relief pitcher for the funeral home greeter and consoler, right?
Yeah.
If you
It
can lift
wasn't
everybody's
bad, though.
spirits a little, that's good.
What did you do at the pharmacy? What was your job there? Mud lady?
No,
Oh, no.
restocking shelves, bringing out customers, helping them find whatever they might need to find. If you needed, Christmas cards or birthday cards, or you were looking for a gift for somebody, kind of helped with that.
Nice.
What about over-the-counter medicine? Did you know where all that stuff was too?
I eventually did. I worked at the pharmacy for 6 years or so.
Now,
So
is this the pharmacy you were saying has a gun range in the basement?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I remember that.
Pharmacy.
So it was a pharmacy/gun range that you worked at.
We never really ran it as a gun range.
The Tylenol and the ammunition's on the next aisle.
We have the ivermectins downstairs.
That would be pretty funny. It's kind of
Right.
like, have you seen that picture of the bakery that has all the bakery foods in the front and then all the guns for sale behind it? You
I
have.
have not. The bakery. Now, there was in Pennsylvania a place called Comunelli's Market. Have you ever heard of this, Amanda?
No.
There was a place called Comunelli's Market, which was a traditional Italian market where they had, your meats and your traditional Italian desserts. And they also had a gun store. And they had shirts that mimicked that Godfather quote, leave the gun, take the cannoli. It said, where you can have the gun and the cannoli.
Yeah, it was a great place.
Unfortunately, the owner recently passed away. Very sad. Young guy. But it was a magnificent place. It was a place that I tell people about. People drive an hour and a half to go check it out.
I mean,
But I don't know about this.
Police. I would go there. I would give
You
it
had
a
to go there. It's along the same lines as the bakery you're talking. Where is that? Do you know?
Oh, I have no idea. I've just seen it across Facebook and on different memes and everything of this delicious looking bakery and then guns for sale in the background.
That's pretty cool. There's a place in Emmaus. I don't think they're there anymore, called DEF CON 1, where it was a barbecue restaurant. and they also sold guns. You ever hear of that place?
I don't think I've been in Pennsylvania long enough.
That's probably true. That's probably true. We're going back. I haven't been there in 5 years. I believe they're no longer over there. So let's finish this, though. Russ, what was your first paying job?
I guess
Did you never have a paying job?
I don't know if he's had one.
Well, it depends on if you count like one-time things, or
I don't think I'm ever going to say this ever again, but can you
Yeah.
please raise your level just a little bit on your
oh, for
microphone?
God's sake. Okay, Mike, if you insist.
or just lower it down completely.
Well, does it count as one-time thing? Because when we got, I grew up in a trailer park, and when we got the old trailer replaced with the new one, we took the aluminum awning to the scrapyard for money, and my dad, provided the truck and gave me and my brother. He split it evenly between us because we put the metal in the back of the truck. So does that count as the first job? It was just a one-time payment.
This was a few weeks ago.
no, this was probably like early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Okay.
And then I guess my first recurring paying job that I definitely reported on taxes, don't worry, was mowing lawns for different people around the trailer park, and I bought a PlayStation 2 with it.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Money.
Nice.
Liberty, first paying job.
Nothing exciting. I think it was just being a hostess.
A hostess. Oh. So we've got Mud Lady, we've got Newspaper Boy, we've got Lawnmower, and Hostess. Very cool.
Start our own company.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right, good deal. So, Champ, thank you for joining us once again. Hope you had a good time on the program last time. We know our audience members are glad to have you back. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to throughout the last few months?
The last few months, I started a new job in Pennsylvania for the Guard.
Really?
I'm at Indiantown Gap, instructing over there for Pennsylvania. So that's
Did you have to move?
I did.
You're out west now?
I mean, center of the state. I don't know. It's west of you, but I definitely would not call it out west.
It's west of where you were, right?
Yes.
Headed out west.
Wild west of.
Yeah, the Wild
Pennsylvania.
West by Harrisburg.
It's a little wild out there.
What county are you in?
Lebanon?
Okay. And that's how you say it, too. It's Lebanon. It's not Lebanon.
Oh yeah.
I
You have a
have
story
this
about
case I
that,
always
don't
talk
you? For your
about.
seminars.
Yeah, I always talk about this case I had in Lebanon. And one night I was in Philadelphia. All I said was I had a case in Lebanon. Lady raises her hand. I kid you not. She goes, "Excuse me, Mike, but you didn't specify. Are you talking about a case that you had in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, or a case that you had in the Middle East?" To which I said, "Ma'am, I don't do too many cases in the Middle East. That is a little far from me, right?" Lebanon, Pennsylvania. How you liking Lebanon County?
It's going well. It's nice. I'm about 15 minutes from work, about 15 minutes from the barn that my horse is at. So go to work, go to the barn, come home, then there's a rifle range out here, Palmyra Sportsman's.
Elmira, very familiar. I'll be doing a seminar over there end of March.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, got a double header over there. We do them all the time. Excellent membership over there. Have you gotten to meet some of those folks?
I know a few of the people. They shoot for Pennsylvania State for the Guard for combat. So I've gone and I've shot with them a couple times, and then I just got my membership and haven't really met anybody that I don't already know that goes there. But it's definitely a nice club. I went there actually, back in probably 2006. I was competing in a small bore event that was being held there, and that was my first big 22 small bore event, and I shot during prep time. They almost kicked me out of the range. It was
This is not fair.
Yeah, so it's definitely kind of funny that it's circled back around.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
very
pretty cool.
cool.
The last time I was there, they introduced me to this young lady who's a competitive shooter in college. Maybe she's the next Amanda Elsenboss.
Remember her name?
And I don't recall her name. I'll have to ask somebody over there. I'd imagine you haven't been introduced to her if it's not sounding familiar, though.
I mean, if she's still shooting, then I might know her from the other small bore shooters that are
Okay.
shooting on the international or national stage.
So have you had any competitions within the last few months?
I actually just went back down to Arizona and we shot the Southwest Nationals down at Ben Avery in Phoenix. So that was a massive turnout of shooters. They break the range up into a third sling shooters, a third FTR, and a third F open. And we filled the range. There was probably 325 competitors down there.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
So you get there and it's completely packed and you've got all these people there. Then what happens?
Well, first I'm a social butterfly, so I have to go around and say hi to everybody that I might know. Then collect my stuff and start getting it organized. Luckily, we've got like a warm-up day. So the first day is a 600-yard line, and everybody kind of knocks the dust off. It's the first match of the year, so we, work out the kinks, and then that match doesn't count into the grand aggregate. It counts as its own match as a 3x600, but it's not in the grand aggregate. And then for this course of fire, we had a 4-man team match for the Palma course of fire, which is 15 rounds at 800, 900, and 1,000 yards. And my team, we came in second. Good job, guys.
Nice.
And then we shot a Palma individual, then 2 strings of 1,000-yard line on the next day. And then we had a 1,000-yard line team match, which was four guys shooting 20 shots at 1,000 yards. Came in first that day. We kicked everybody else's butts.
Nice.
Awesome.
Then the final day is another 2,000-yard lines.
And what happened on the final day?
Well, the final day was just another day.
It was just another day. Sometimes you gotta have a short memory when you're in competitive sports, right?
Yeah. The world of Amanda, it was just another day.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. But it's first place on the second day, you said?
Yeah. So our team came in first in the 1,000-yard line match, and then we were second in the Palma team match, which put us second overall by 1 point to another U.S. national team.
So how often are you getting the opportunity to get out there and shoot at 1,000 yards? Because, going there to compete, I'd imagine that's not something you're doing every single day, right?
It's not. Honestly, I haven't shot at 1,000 yards since the last time I was in Arizona, which was September or October.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's Pennsylvania. It's really cold and it's miserable out there. There's a range up in Altoona that's 1,000 yards. So right now it's about 2.5 hours from me, but it's not that easy to get to. And I really don't want to lay out there freezing. And then when you go from 30-degree weather here in Pennsylvania to nice 75, 80 degrees in Arizona, your bullets aren't going to act the same. So it's kind of not even worth it.
Well, your body's not going to act the same either, right?
Yeah, I'm not shivering.
That's true.
Although
these last couple of days, until today, these last couple of days weren't all that bad for February. You got to say that, right?
That's true. Yeah. Monday was an amazing day.
Did you get out there and shoot?
No.
No.
I went to the barn and I spent the day at the barn with my horse, gave him a bath, did all that stuff instead.
That's fair enough. That is perfectly understandable. So what is next on the agenda? When's your next competition?
Well, so next is actually I'll be shooting next week with Pennsylvania Guard. We're doing a train up for the All Army Championships that happen down at Fort Benning, and for the WPW matches, which is the Guard Championships. So for all of next week, we'll be shooting rifle and pistol and doing combat training, which is a little out of my comfort zone because now it's quick engagements at E-type targets with the pistol from 10 meters to 25 meters, and then with a rifle from 500 to 25 yards. So it's a little bit of a different feeling. It's all combat shooting, not necessarily simplistic competition shooting like I'm used to. So that'll be exciting. And then I really won't get into the competitive swing of things until maybe May and shoot a couple matches out in Altoona. And then our first big match is going to be Inter-Service Championships in June.
So is it sort of like baseball season because it's dependent on the weather?
Yes.
Well, that's cool.
The season kicks off generally in April or May, and it'll run through September.
We should send you out to Florida or Arizona for spring training, right? It sounds like you already went out to Arizona. Maybe go send you out to Clearwater, Florida for a couple of months.
That would be nice. There's a match actually happening in March down in Florida that I've gone to for a couple of times. I'm not going this year, but it's down.
Why not? You're not going to get away with this. Why not?
We're running a course, so.
Oh, okay.
It has to be run. But it's down by Miami? No, not by Miami.
Sounds terrible.
By Palm Bay. So usually we spend 2 weeks down there and consider that spring training.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
I can understand why you're not going. Sounds awful.
I mean, Mike, if you want to send me, I'll go, okay?
Take the show on the road.
You won't.
Let's go. I'll see if they've got a last-minute cancellation.
There you go.
Be my gun caddy, and we'll do shows from the ring.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw an alligator a couple years ago walk across the yard line.
This is sounding more and more like Happy Gilmore. She's going to have the homeless guy as the caddy.
We can get
She's
Russ
going to have
to
the
check
coach
the
with the wooden hand and the alligator, right?
Try it.
Your boss is going to show up with a nail in his head. So with the combat competition, how often do you get to train for that sort of thing? I know you said it's outside the scope of what you normally do, but do you get out there and train occasionally for that kind of thing?
Yes and no. And recently, since I became a member at Palmyra, a couple of the guys that I know there are on the combat team. So we are trying to figure out how to do a little bit more training over there at Palmyra to get more familiar with reflexive fire or some of the pistol engagements that we do. And then for when the guard does the training, we do maybe 3 to 4 train-ups throughout the year to get the guys to come in, and then we will run the matches and run the scenarios so that everybody can practice.
Now, it might be interesting for someone like yourself who's incredibly accomplished in competitive shooting to take a look at the aspect of firearms on the defensive side, because 99.9% of the people we interact with on our side, they own firearms for the purposes of self-defense, not for competitive shooting. At least nobody who's at the level that you are. How does that play into what you do to the degree that, you know, you've got something that you live and breathe, you do it day and night, you do it at the highest of levels, and then there's this other aspect that could potentially, you know, bleed into your everyday life and having the ability to protect yourself and your loved ones. Do you have the opportunity to train for those kinds of settings at all? And because I'm not even talking about like a combat competition, I'm talking about true real life self-defense sort of stuff. Is that something that you get the opportunity to do at all?
So in the guard, we run courses that go through that. Maybe not per se in a self-defense scenario, but the majority of it is to figure out self-defense. At the end of the day, we want to be the person who's standing there at the very end. So like one of the courses that we're getting ready to run is a live fire shoot house.
Wow.
And it's exactly what you think. We take 2 weeks and we bring in different soldiers from different units in the state, and they come in and we'll train them on a regular flat range first and do urban warfare and start to get them to realize what movements they have to do to be walking and engaging a target, how to roll through your feet, how to quickly turn and engage. And then by the end of the course, we have them in an actual shoot house and shooting live bullets.
Wow.
So that takes, I mean, it takes somebody who has skills already with a rifle and they understand how it works, but we're now making them figure out how to make a turn and then engage a target, how to walk sideways and engage a target. And then once you put them into the shoot house, it's like blank rounds to start with or chalk rounds, and then you work your way to live rounds being fired. So that's probably the closest real life scenario to an extent that we're capable of giving somebody.
Do you find that fun? Because I know a lot of people, civilians, get into firearms because it's an activity that they find enjoyable. And it also may save your life someday. You have the opportunity to gain a skill that could save your life or save the life of a loved one. But I've spoken to some people who were deeply involved in this kind of training, and they say when you're involved in training like this to this degree, it's such a serious matter that you can't call it fun. How do you look at that?
So I actually still find it fun.
That's good.
For example, the other day we were running an individual weapons course. So we had people that were shooting under night vision. And it is a very stressful moment because they're doing those turns, they're moving, and it's at night. And anything is capable, and they're turning more or less uprange towards the instructors and then turning towards the targets. So it is a high level, everybody's on edge, paying attention, watching where every single student's stepping, where they're moving, where they are compared to other students. But for me, I love those moments because I'm soaking in, okay, hey, this student I need to watch. This person is all right. I don't have to worry so much about them. And
they need to watch as in safety hazard, or?
Yeah, just to make sure that a few people, let's take, for example, let's say, Mike, you shoot a little slow once you come up onto the target. So I just need to make sure that you're done shooting before we move into the next stage.
Sounds like you've been to the range with Mike a little. Just kidding.
Like Mr. Burns on the.
We'll do some training. It'll be okay.
Just kidding.
99 and a half years old. What do you expect?
That's right.
Yeah.
And the night vision stuff must be fun, though.
It is. It's entertaining, and I don't have a ton of experience with it, so every time that we do it, I find it fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
That's outside of my wheelhouse.
Are they stereoscopes? Do they have both eyes, or are they?
Nope, just one.
Just one. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
That's pretty cool. Do you get to do any hand-to-hand combat?
No, but we do have all the combative stuff. So we've got like the shock knives and everything, and we may or may not sometimes hit each other with them just for fun.
Well, in a setting where you're training, or a setting like you're in the movie Jackass or something.
We'll go with we're training.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We'll have to get Brian Harper out there for that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our don't call it knife fighting experts. That's the only way I could describe him, right?
Right.
Edged weapon combat expert.
Yeah,
what does he like to be called again? Don't call it knife fighting.
Like an urban ninja of some sort.
Urban
He's in the
ninja.
chat right now. What do you prefer?
He's in the chat
Brian?
right now. He's paying attention. We've got a comment from Rita who says, Amanda, you're an inspiration, with a thumbs up.
Well, thank you.
We got a lot of fans in the Mike G in the Morning family. Have you ever participated in martial arts in any fashion aside from your military training?
Maybe when I was in second grade, I was in the play Mulan, and
that's when it all began.
I did a few of those kicks and hayas, but no, I went through combatives level 1 in the Army back in probably 14. But otherwise, I haven't really done anything combatives.
Did you watch any Bruce Lee movies to train for that Milan role? I know you really got into it, right?
No, I think I watched Mulan on repeat about 92 times to figure out how to like take over.
That's awesome. So, did you have an extensive acting career after that? Did you play any other major roles?
No. I
No?
think the last one.
Or does that was it? That was the peak of your acting career, was Milan in the second grade?
Yep. Yeah. Otherwise, we
I
stopped.
guess you found your passion though, right? You figured out, okay, I'm going to be a mud lady for a little bit, and then I'm going to get into competitive shooting.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. Mulan, figured out how to karate chop a few people, and then figured out how to slap them with some mud, concrete,
Nice. There we go.
start shooting.
Now you're running around with night vision.
Yeah.
So for all the little girls out there who want to model themselves after you, this is the path to take. You got to play Milan in second grade. You got to become a mud lady for a little bit, and then I think I missed something in there. There's a competitive sport. What's that?
Oh, I was gonna say you forgot to be a greeter and be cheerful.
A funeral greeter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that I still can't get over that one. That's got to be a
composure
difficult
under
gig,
pressure
right?
a little bit. Yeah.
It was an enjoyable job. I enjoyed it. It was low
How did you
key.
land that job? Did somebody see you and they have like talent scouts out there looking for people on the street like you? Hold on, stand right there. And he's like, you would be a phenomenal funeral home greeter. You've got the look. Trust me, I've been in this business 25 years. I know talent when I see it.
Small town,
Yep.
and happened to know the funeral home director, and she needed help, and it was, of course, no problem.
Gotcha.
That's how you luck into those jobs sometimes.
That was really your response, though. Of course, no problem. It's like, listen, I want you to come to these funerals all day, and I want you to talk to all the grieving families. There was no, follow-up questions or anything there.
I don't think I asked a single follow-up question. 2.5, 3 hours in an evening or an afternoon, and wait for the next phone call.
Wow.
There you go.
So you're one of those kinds of
Felt
friends,
like
right?
a classy little suit type deal. So
Nice.
real professional.
Special attire for that kind of a gig, right?
Yeah, you can't just show up in sweatpants.
Yeah, no. I was at a courthouse once, a district judge's office, and that's where they do the preliminary hearings for criminal cases and the traffic tickets. So if you have any speeding tickets, you'll have been to one of these places. Do you?
I haven't been to any of those, but I just thought of something, Mike, that I should hit you up about.
There we go.
It's not a speeding ticket. Is this something we shouldn't be talking about on the air?
I know we can discuss it on the air. But please tell me more about this location that you go to.
Okay, so it reminded me of what you said, because I walk into the courthouse and there's a sign that says pajama pants are not acceptable attire for court. And I looked at it and I said, I've never seen this sign before, but that sign must be there because somebody did that, which would necessitate a sign, right? You don't just come up with that off the top of your head. It's not like you think of every single thing somebody could possibly wear and just pick one and put it on a sign. Somebody walked through that door to go to court wearing pajama pants. So now that I've got that out of the way, is that what you were going to ask me about? Did you show up in pajama pants? And
No, but I wish I did.
You wish you did.
Yeah, imagine how comfortable you would be.
I was going to say, you might as well be comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would be like, sir, this is what I was wearing the day I got a speeding ticket.
For the purposes of uniformity, Your Honor.
Right.
And judges tend to appreciate when you look like you've made an effort. That's all.
Right. That's right. They love it.
I always have that conversation with the clients ahead of time. What's that?
Maybe it was their fancy pajamas.
That's right. And tuxedo T-shirt, right? So go ahead. I cut you off with my story about pajama pants.
Oh, no. You keep going.
No, I don't have another pajama pants in court story. So that's all I've got. You said you had something to bring to my attention. Did you get cold feet on that?
I'll just pass on it.
You got cold pajama feet? Is it something we should be talking about off air?
It doesn't matter either way. It's just a real funny story. I'll tell you off air.
Might be good on the air, though. I'm kind of intrigued now.
Yeah. Now I don't know if I want to let her off the hook on this.
Right, I know. Right? Yeah, can't really do that.
It sounds like she's holding out on radio gold for us.
It sounds that way.
It is a little bit of radio gold.
Uh-huh.
Are you getting text messages from your handlers right now saying, "Hey, no, don't tell that story"?
Right. Don't do it live on the air.
Your PR person is like, "This is not going to go well for the book deal, Amanda."
I thought you were my PR person. You're supposed to.
You don't want Mike G as the PR person.
That's right.
Yeah. So go ahead. You were telling the story.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have to get back my kitten. Okay. I'm gonna need you to go and get the cat that won the nationals with me back. Okay.
All
Is
right.
there a custody dispute of some
We can
kind?
get Liberty on that. That's right up Liberty's alley.
Yeah.
That's right. Liberty is the animal.
She is the
expert.
animal. Yeah.
Liberty's the one who goes to the General Assembly on the days where they have the animal legislation. I don't know. What do they call them, Liberty?
Yeah, basically the
That's
legislature.
great.
You go talk to the senators and the
Going
reps. The different
Don't
laws.
you usually wear sweatpants those days too, Liberty?
No, you got to get all dressed up to kind of like get them on your level.
Gotta wear your, gotta wear your
Dressed
good
up in
pajama
tiger
pants.
There you go. Some tiger stripes.
No, I'm not one who goes and like pours blood on people. and
Get
goes
some real
crazy. No,
attention.
you dress up in a suit. You got to play their game.
So somebody named Cody Knowles says, "I thought your name was pronounced Eisenboss." Is that a?
It's Elsenboss, Cody.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was gonna say I've been saying it wrong for both episodes so far, and
we don't
nobody's
wanna do that.
corrected me.
No,
I'm pretty
you're-
sure I asked you how to pronounce it the first
Yeah.
time, didn't I?
You're saying it right. Cody was introduced to me as Eisenboss.
Oh,
And
that's what happened.
then I was introduced to an entire company as Eisenboss.
No. That's pretty funny. That sounds like a story.
It was
But-
definitely a story, and then I had to correct the owner and be like, that's not my name.
Wow. Was this a company that had hired you?
Yes.
Wow. Did you do it in front of everybody? Like, hey, knucklehead.
No,
Don't you say don't you know how to read?
Like, just call me the champ.
I did not. I mean, I've gotten a lot of different ways of saying my name, to be honest. I've gotten Eisenboss. I've gotten Ellenboss. I've gotten Elsenberg. Don't know where that one came
Like Heisenberg.
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 Hindenburg.
It's your
Any
gangster
more?
name.
That's about all that I can remember, but they jack it up pretty easily. I've been called Amanda. You might not think Amanda can get messed up, but I've been called Amanda.
Oh, Amanda.
What?
So, Ms. Amanda Eisenberry, you were just about to tell us about this cat situation, weren't you? No, you're not telling us about the cat situation. We just know that there was a cat.
Yeah.
There
Tell us
was a
about the
cat.
We're just
There's
gonna
not
say
a cat.
that
and
my
we need a
my
cat.
sister is now holding on to my cat.
Ah.
She is doing a great job of raising her. I just would like the cat back. So
Is it a hostage situation or?
unclear at the moment.
Okay. Might need to use some of those combat skills there.
Well, first we'll send a demand letter, right? We'll send a legal demand letter over.
Let's get some of the night vision goggles and we'll have a cat rescue.
Please tender the cat by end of business, Friday of next week.
Right.
Or my client has authorized me to pursue any and all remedies under the law.
All right. So when can you have that written up for me? 20 minutes
Before the end of the episode, yeah. Working on it right now. Actually, my paralegal's listening to the program. So this is a dictation of sorts. He's going to have
There
it
we
all
go.
typed up, ready for my signature before we even get off the air. We'll
Do
get
it
that out
live.
certified mail, and then we'll be good to go.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work out, I've got some guys in Brooklyn that you can give a call.
Oh,
They'll
some guys
take care of the whole thing.
They seem
Liberty.
right up my alley.
Yep.
There you go. What's that?
They seem right up my alley.
Yeah, there's some interesting characters back there. We actually
Mhm.
might be doing a field trip out there, right, Philly Chris?
That's right. I'm excited.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Little
We're
time
going
in
through.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Brooklyn, Amanda? If you say that means no.
I've been to New York City. I've definitely been to New York City. I'm not sure that I have been to Brooklyn though.
You did like the touristy thing, right?
Yeah, we would take the Greyhound from Connecticut, take it into the city, go and watch a play or Broadway, and then wander around and then come back out.
Nice.
And then when I was going to school in Philly at USP, I would take the Greyhound out of Philly to New York City, get on it, and take it back to Connecticut.
Nice.
And you made sure you did not bring any guns or ammunition. Is that correct?
Right.
Never.
Never.
That would be
Well,
because you
I-
wouldn't be here right now. You'd still be sitting in jail.
That's right.
Yeah, so what I would bring would be desserts from Reading Market. That was
Oh.
Reading
definitely
Terminal
the
Market.
top, like the Greyhound was right behind it. It was
Right.
a shady area in case you haven't been there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right behind Reading Terminal, and you
Yeah, that's-
Chinatown. It's in
It's really
Chinatown.
not that bad compared to other parts of Philly. I mean, that's right across one block over from the Justice Center. So I'm over there all the time. I park in the garage that they actually use.
constantly from Reading Terminal because they're pretty tasty.
What's that? What is it?
The cannolis.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Reading
you
Terminal
get
Market.
made right in front of you.
Really?
I
That's
can't believe you've never been.
We'll go down
No,
there, Mike.
not for the cannolis. We go there for a lot of other things. There are these
Yeah.
Amish dudes who sell a bunch of good sort of things over there. Petroni actually introduced me to them. They've got some good coffee. They got everything over there, though, don't they?
Yeah, it's a good place. I was just there a few weeks ago.
So what other stuff? What did you get when you were over there, Chris?
We went in just to grab something to eat, but then we were shuffled around, because of the whole mask situation, and you had to like wait in line to sit down and all that. It was the day I got yelled at for getting coffee in the lobby. Remember I was talking
Oh.
about that?
But did you end up getting
the air.
anything from Reading
Yeah, we
Terminal?
were able to eat. Yeah, just got a sandwich, like a turkey club sandwich. It was pretty good.
Hmm.
So, but they have a little
What-
bit of everything in there, like
What's your go-to? Because I know you're not going in there and going straight for the cannolis, right? I mean,
right. My favorite cannoli place is Gross.
Amanda's like, I'm an adult. I'll eat whatever I want.
Definitely say the last time I went to Reading Terminal was in 2009, so it's been a while. I haven't gone since I came back to Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
But I would definitely walk into Reading Terminal, get a cannoli from that little booth in the front that like has the cannoli bags, and they fill the cannoli, put some chocolate chips on it, and I would then wander away.
That was it. That was the main
Dinner
course.
to take home.
That's all you need.
Wow.
They also have ice cream. I remember the ice cream joint in there.
Yeah.
And the fish market. I never bought anything from the fish market, but I remember them having a fish market and then some of the Amish things on the side. I don't know where Philly
Right.
Chris got this turkey sandwich. I do not recall turkey sandwiches being anywhere inside of the Reading Terminal Market, but
It's a
Yeah,
hidden place in
it's
the
strange
back.
you say that. The last time I was there for court around lunchtime, I went over there and I got roast turkey. It wasn't a sandwich. Just got like a platter, but it was very, very good.
It's like a
But-
sandwich.
so you're
shop
the
that's
only
like
one
a
who doesn't eat
speakeasy.
turkey when you go to the market, Amanda. You're the only one who does.
there's probably better things to eat.
Well, she's right about that.
I'm not that big of a sandwich fan.
Leave the turkey, take the cannoli.
Exactly.
Not a big sandwich fan. This is breaking news.
Oh, really? Breaking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does the champ eat? So you always hear about
Yeah.
like breakfast of champions, right? This is something that people say on a regular basis. It was the Wheaties slogan back in the day. I think it was before I was born that was around. But so what is the true breakfast of champions?
Oh man. I would say I have about 4 different breakfast of champions.
Oh yeah.
All depends on where I'm at and what is around me. So when I was in Arizona, they have breakfast burritos that are out of this world from this place, about 5 minutes from the range, called hot bagels. And every morning, a breakfast burrito with potatoes, bacon, not sausage. And that's pretty tasty. When I'm up in Altoona shooting, we have dry pasta sheets, and I really, for some reason, like Sheets donuts.
Oh, they're good.
Well, now in Lebanon County, you've got sheets around, no?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I just try to stay away from them because they're kind of my kryptonite, and I really do think I like Wawa better, but I
You
like
do.
donuts better.
So what do you like about Wawa better? Because I'm on the eastern part of the state here, and My true friends know how I feel about Sheetz versus Wawa, but if I say it, being in this part of Pennsylvania, somebody is likely to try to hunt me down somewhere. What do you like about Wawa better than Sheetz?
I feel like their food is a little bit better when you have
Okay.
to order something.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
I really like their strawberry lemonade.
So you're
Uh-huh.
talking about in terms of ordering from behind the counter. You
Correct.
like Wawa better than Sheetz, but you like one particular item. So if you had to choose one item to live on for the rest of your life, and it was either going to Wawa or Sheetz, you go to Sheetz.
For the donut, yeah.
Right, for the donut.
Yes.
But on a broader spectrum, you prefer the behind the counter from Wawa. Is that fair to say? Am I
Yeah.
getting this right? This is very
Yep.
important. I don't want to
Yeah,
screw
I
this
would
up.
agree with that. And
Phil-
Wawa has really good hot chocolate, which I lived off of for last winter for a lot of
lived off of. Why was that necessary?
Because it was cold and I needed some hot
Oh.
chocolate.
Do you drink coffee
Not
or
a coffee
do
drinker?
you avoid caffeine or?
I am not a coffee drinker.
Okay.
Is there any particular reason for that? Is it bad for when you're shooting long range? You don't want the jitters and stuff? Or
I don't like the flavor.
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love ice cream. Ice cream is my kryptonite. Like any of the guys who know me or shoot with me know that is the easy way to just get Amanda to do anything. Like, hey, I'll buy you ice cream. Sure, here you go. Like, thanks. I'll clean your gun. I'll do whatever. Thank you very much. Can I have another ice cream?
What's your
So-
favorite flavor?
I was gonna say, go ahead on that, and then I've got a follow-up question that's more specific.
What was it? I mean,
Anything with cherry.
oh, like Cherry
With
Garcia.
cherry.
You like Cherry Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or like
Are you-
soft serve twist with rainbow sprinkles. Sold.
Mm.
Are you an ice cream snob in that you prefer something like one of those higher-end Van Leeuwen's or Jenny's or anything like that?
I've never heard of either of those.
Are you kidding me? You claim to have an ice cream addiction.
Is this a brand or is this a store?
Van Leeuwen's is a brand. Jenny's is a brand. They're like $10 a pint.
No, then I'm not an ice cream snob. I'll just take anything.
You're just she's just a regular gal, all right?
Is that part of like the Louis Vuitton line of ice cream, Mike? Is that what we're
No.
talking about?
Oh,
You get a
She's
little handbag.
a
with
woman
it.
of the people when it comes to ice cream, right?
Right.
She's not. I'm no better than you guys. I eat ice cream just like the rest of them.
yeah.
I might be the champion of the world, but is there any particular brand that you do prefer? Because I just threw the conversation off the rails by rattling off these brands that are apparently obscure.
Heard of them. By default, because I really do like Cherry Garcia. That's a Ben and Jerry's, but that's really the only ice cream I get from Ben and Jerry's.
Are they anti-gun, Philly Chris? Do you know?
You know, they are a bit on the liberal side these days with some of their things, but it's tough not to buy their ice cream. That's something I've struggled with. And Cherry Garcia is definitely one of my favorites. So I'm right on board with Amanda on that one. Although I think there's too many of the chocolate bits in there.
Oh no.
No, you like the
Yeah.
chocolate bit? Okay, all right. But yeah, that's good stuff.
But that's the epitome.
It's one of the better ones, I think.
Or
Don't
if you
agree,
go to
Amanda?
homemade creameries.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
My favorite thing is creameries, and like
Mhm.
Connecticut in Southbury has one that is delicious. It's called Rich's Farm. Whenever I go home, I go to Rich's, I get some ice cream, and I call it good.
Nice. Yeah, nothing like homemade ice cream.
Liberty's getting down on the comments over here about the Wawa versus Sheetz debate.
Whoa.
Liberty, what do you have to say? You gotta feel free to speak out loud.
Yeah, throw it in there.
Well, I've never thought I would like gas station food, but like I love Wawa food, and I love even their tuna sandwiches,
Hmm.
and I love their coffee. So I have to say, I think Sheetz has like an aftertaste.
Really?
I never like Sheetz coffee, like their iced
I
coffee.
lean toward Wawa too. And I think what Amanda said about the prepared food at Wawa just seems like it's more fresh or something. Sheetz is good too, though. I'd say Sheetz is right up there. Like they're one of the
Sheetz
few
seems to
places
have a
that
good
can taste
selection
as
with
well.
the drinks out of the fridge, though. And if you want
Oh,
like
okay.
a good protein bar or something like that, Sheetz has a good selection of that
Oh,
stuff.
that's why you like it, because they have like the stuff
Bars.
you like. Yeah.
What's that?
Protein bars. That's the highlight of your gas station.
It's a gas station. I'm not looking for sushi or filet mignon or anything.
I once got tuna. I'm shameless. I got tuna out of a gas station in Jersey, like a Sunoco. I don't know what it's from.
Did you promptly go to the hospital
in
there?
Norwegian.
After?
I'm a true Norwegian. Take the tuna from anywhere.
What were you
Oh, my
doing in
goodness.
the Democratic People's awfulness of New Jersey?
Well, that's where she lived for the first however many
was
years.
born.
What, like
Yeah.
on purpose?
She escaped.
I was born there on purpose.
She escaped.
Man.
Her parents didn't give her a say in the matter, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Much like Connecticut, right, Amanda?
That's
Correct,
rough,
no
buddy.
saying.
Those ice creams you were mentioning, Mike, were those Nancy Pelosi's ice creams or?
I believe one of
Is that-
them is
is
what
that where
she
you
had
got
in the
them?
fridge.
Okay.
Because I remember looking at it being like, I know my ice cream. That's like a $10 pint of ice cream.
Wow,
It's filled
yeah.
from the top to the bottom. She's got like a grand worth of ice cream in the freezer talking
Yeah.
about how. Anyway,
Well, when you have a
we're here to talk
$20,000
to the
fridge.
champ.
That's right, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to the store and find this Jenny's or whatever.
Van Leeuwen's. Van Leeuwen's. If you're in New York, there's actually a Van Leeuwen's store, and you can get that delivered right to your hotel room.
Oh, okay.
Jenny's,
Yeah.
I believe they have it at places like Whole Foods and stuff like that. But you can definitely taste the difference.
I have to run out later after the show.
I
Get some ice cream.
Wegmans would have it.
think
bet
Wegmans
Wegmans probably
should have
would.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wegmans is in that same
And
ballpark,
have it,
right?
yeah.
The same
They have all that
family
good stuff,
grocery
yeah.
stores.
But we need a poll, Gary says. Yeah, maybe
We need a poll for ice cream. All
Poll
right.
for ice cream. Yeah.
So
favorite
how should we phrase this poll?
poll.
I'm gonna go to the expert on this.
Just
You
don't
can
lick
add
the pole.
options. Okay.
You'll get your tongue stuck.
It's stuck right on there.
Russ Turner.
All right. What 4 flavors should I poll the audience, Amanda?
Chocolate.
Oh. Soft serve chocolate vanilla as one flavor.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's okay. Chocolate / vanilla.
Cherry
Okay.
Garcia.
Cherry Garcia.
Got my vote on
Rocky
that one.
Road.
Rocky Road. I think you got to give a peanut butter one because we have people over here in the comments
Reese's.
blowing
That's
us
a
up about
common one.
peanut butter.
Yeah, it's a
I was
con-
gonna go with either mint chocolate chip or peanut butter. I don't like mint, but I know people do.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, Mike. You pick the next flavor.
How many
All
can
right.
you do? Can you do more than 4?
No, I can only do 4.
Only 4. Okay.
Maybe you'll have to start a second poll with 4
I'm
other
just gonna say
flavors.
peanut butter
Peanut
something.
butter. Peanut butter.
Ask
Yeah.
the community. All right, here we go. Here we go. Big results
Ladies
coming.
and gentlemen, live poll here on Mike
It's
G in the morning
election.
with.
You got to see if the
Champ.
mail-in votes come afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, there's
Uh-oh.
a pipe that busted. We got to shut it down. Ice cream poll's got to continue tomorrow.
Let me pull the votes out from under the
Oh,
table here. Hold
man.
on a couple more hours. Wait, there's a van. There's a van.
Hey,
pulling up.
everybody needs to leave while we pull these votes out from under the table.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, peanut butter looks like it took the lead. How about that?
Where are you seeing this?
It'll be on the live stream.
On,
Oh.
YouTube,
Yeah.
on the live stream. Cherry Garcia's got a couple of votes. Up,
Oh.
up, up.
I
Soft
voted-
serve is making a comeback.
I
Hey now.
We should have placed bets on this ahead of time.
I
It's
know,
like
right?
watching the
Right.
horses, right? One goes in the lead, and then it's coming around there and Rocky Road into the home stretch.
And Cherry
It's
Garcia,
peanut butter,
Cherry
it's soft
Garcia,
serve, it's peanut butter, it's soft serve,
And it's
eh,
peanut butter something.
eh, peanut butter something by nose.
Oh.
All right. People, you got 10 more seconds to vote, or I'm closing the poll. Peanut butter's in the lead.
Oh
Man,
wow.
this is not going well for you.
I know. What happened?
Wow.
I think
I do like Reese's, so I could eat it it says peanut butter something, which means I can make it my own version.
that's true. That's
Kind
you
of
go.
opened it up a
true.
little bit.
It's
yeah.
open for interpretation.
I could
Yeah.
make that Sonic Blast with Reese's peanut butter cups.
I think this
Right.
last presidential election was like pistachio winning, right?
Although that's one of my favorites, pistachio.
It would be.
Even taste it in the ice cream?
The pistachio?
Yeah.
The Ben and Jerry's one is actually really good.
Huh.
It's hard to find though.
DG
But
says
it's not
Moose
for everybody.
Tracks has a mix to satisfy most. Do you know about Moose Tracks? Because I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh,
familiar.
that's pretty good.
Tracks.
That's a good one.
I think
What
we
is
need
in
a
Moose
second
Tracks?
poll.
Reese's, and then chocolate chunks, and it's like a vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
I
pieces
think
of
that
chocolate
qualifies
cake?
as peanut butter something, right?
And little moose droppings.
Yeah, you could call them tracks.
I guess that's why they call it tracks. Yeah.
Good job, Chris.
But it's
10
good.
out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
For real?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Looks like it's peanut butter. Peanut butter something
I
for
think
the
we've
win.
got the ice cream situation settled.
Peanut butter something.
Peanut butter something wins the election. We're gonna
Pulls
have to do
ahead.
peanut butter something for the next 4 years.
Mm.
But people are running the show from behind the scenes. Peanut butter is really not all there. Yeah, lots going on. All right. So we got. You said you had different breakfast of champions for different situations. We got the burrito, and then we got ice cream. We never got any further than a burrito and ice cream.
I would definitely eat ice cream for breakfast. I would not put it past me.
Really? Have you done that before?
Probably, yes. So one year at Nationals, we were there for 7 days. I'll let you take a guess at how many times I ate ice cream.
7 days. Where are you?
Camp Perry, Ohio, in the month of August.
Oh.
Ohio in August.
Mm-hmm.
You ate ice cream in 7 days.
3 times a day, 21 times.
9 times.
I was gonna say 9 times. Once a day, and then 2 times you gave it twice a day. How many times?
11.
Oh.
11.
Close.
So I think I win because I got closest without going over.
Yeah, I went
Those are the
over.
rules?
Close.
Well, I also
Wait,
said
you're the
9.
only person who guessed.
No, Philly Chris said 42 times, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he said 21. I said 3 times a
21
day.
times. She said 3
Yeah.
times a day.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's impressive. Now, what is the serving size during these 11 times? Are you eating like a quart every sitting, or is it?
So the Nationals used to have a drive-through liquor store / ice cream place
Oh.
that was called Andy's. It recently shut down due to COVID, and they would do hard serve ice cream, Toff's ice cream in waffle cones. So in my mind, the only way to get that ice cream is a waffle cone with probably 3 or 4 scoops of whatever ice cream you choose inside of it.
Wow.
And then there was also a soft serve joint by the high school that you would get twist with rainbow sprinkles in a cone, and so be it.
How did you figure this out? How long were you there? Did you show up like a month in advance with a map and like, all right, we're gonna figure out where all the ice cream joints are? Now, when you're in the middle of competition, do you try to do things that will make you feel more comfortable?
What would make me feel more comfortable? Finding an ice cream joint?
Yeah. So like I competed, I had my ice cream, I'm fresh and ready to go for the next day, as opposed to being like, damn it, there's no ice cream around this damn place. I'm stuck here for a week. I'm not going to be able to perform properly tomorrow now.
Most of the places that we've gone to, I've been to before. And the running joke when I was active duty is that I knew where all the good ice cream joints were. So if somebody wanted one, to just ask me and I would tell them.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're like the guru. You're
Yeah.
gonna see her.
Rewarding yourself after shooting well.
Or
She's like
not
sitting
shooting
there.
well and crying in my sorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
It's for either occasion, right?
Get sprinkles. Everybody else just gets plain ice cream.
Really? So is there any significance to that?
Have you not seen like all Mike, where have you been? Do you live under a rock? Like there's this thing called
does.
winners get sprinkles.
Winners get sprinkles?
Winners get sprinkles, man. Is it like
I've
coffees for
never
closers?
heard that one.
Coffees for closers?
Mike's never been a winner, apparently.
Is that a popular statement?
I think so.
Winners
Is this
get
in the
sprinkles?
shooting community or
I think it's
military?
the community in a whole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's something that was very frequent at the funeral homes of Connecticut. It's a very popular saying over there.
Come back for your sprinkles afterwards. It'll definitely make your day better.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that saying.
They used to be called Jimmy's. Anybody still call them Jimmy's?
Massachusetts does.
Oh, okay, right. Well, that's where I was born, so maybe that's where I got it from.
Yep, Massachusetts calls them Jimmy's. Still.
Yeah, Jimmy's. Yeah, you got the
Do
Jimmy's.
you know how to talk to the locals? You like, you know which one to ask for depending on which state you're in, so they get your order exactly right. So I picture Amanda like in this office with like dim lights, and her back is facing towards the door, and somebody sent in a guy to figure out where to get the good ice cream. And he comes in and he's like all nervous and stuff. He's like, excuse me, somebody told me to come here to figure out where to get the ice cream. And she just keeps the chair turned around, and then she just writes something down over here. She's like, go to this address. Make sure you ask for Jimmy's, not sprinkles.
When you pull up in the car in Harvard Yard, ask for the sprinkles, see?
How often did you spend time in Massachusetts living up in Connecticut?
When I was growing up and shooting, there's a range in Reading, Massachusetts. Not Reading.
Okay.
I don't know. I actually, yeah, I don't know the town. I think it's Reading. It's right behind a hockey rink that's up there. So I would go and shoot up there maybe twice a month during the season.
When you say the hockey rink, it's not professional or
The Bruins.
No, not the Bruins. No.
I would imagine that would be in Boston, right?
Right.
The Reading Bruins.
That's incorrect, Mike. It'd be in Boston.
Boston. Did you grow up rooting for Boston sports teams? Did I ask you this already?
I don't think you asked me. I'm not a big sports fan, but these are my teams that I default to, so do not hold it against me in any way, shape, or form.
It's okay. You'll be kicked off the show within the next 10.
So I default,
choose your baseball team wisely, right?
I default to the Patriots.
Okay. With the Giants beating the Super Bowl twice, so I could live with that.
The Yankees.
Okay.
All
You're
right.
not kicked off the program.
Not
In
kicked
fact, we've
Woo!
extended your invitation to
Right.
10 more episodes.
I saved it, and then for hockey, the Bruins.
Okay.
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 All right.
That's fair enough. I've got a text message that a buddy of mine from high school sent me fairly recently. I haven't spoken to him in many years, and he heard about the fact that I'm a conservative talk radio host. We started talking about it a little bit, and he's of different political leanings. And he said, we had this long conversation about it. And he said, the way I see it, we can disagree on everything and have respect. So long as a man doesn't eat pizza with a fork and knife or root for the Red Sox.
There we have it.
So you eat pizza with a fork and a knife, right,
I
Mike?
do not eat pizza with a fork and a knife. I was going to say, when you're talking about doing the touristy sort of tour of New York, the first thing that came to my mind was like, all right, so she never went to a bad neighborhood in Brooklyn and ate at a good pizza joint, is what she's telling me.
Connecticut.
That wasn't on the agenda for you when you were going to New York, right? They don't tell you that stuff. You gotta know one of the locals in order to do that. And we don't call each other locals, obviously.
Call each other.
What?
What do you call yourself?
Oh, people who either New Yorkers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like saying like, oh, he's one of the locals. That's not really a saying that's used over there. That's not aggressive enough to be New York, right? But anyway, so you've got competition coming up here pretty soon, and we'll be back in the swing of things in May. What does your training regimen look like leading up to that? Are you out there shooting very often the closer you get to the season? Is there any preparation that you have to do physically, mentally, or anything of that nature?
With the training, I do a lot of mental work that kind of runs year round. And before a match, then I either amp up the mental training that I'm doing or try to run that actual match scenario through my brain and start focusing on one specific match instead of the overall mental aspect of shooting. And with being in the guard, my day job doesn't allow me to shoot as much as I would like. Usually it's instructing or setting up for the courses that we're doing. But I'll probably shoot 3 weekends out of a month is my plan. So I'm 2.5 hours from a 1,000-yard range, and I'm about 20 minutes from Palmyra, which has a 200-yard range. And if I can get there and shoot either some standing or a little bit of training just to keep myself in the flow of things, then we'll be ready to go. And before our nationals, before our inter-service championships, the guard will have a train up where the entire team will get together, and then we will be able to train with each other for a week. And that's going to be the heavy part of our training. And from there, we roll into inter-service championships, have a few weeks off, then roll into 3 weeks of the nationals. So I would say more so the heavy part of the season is during the national championships, and that's when right now I'm getting the most practice.
Now, you're saying the last competition in Arizona, that was all team related?
That was with the U.S. National Palma team and as an individual match. So it was 2 team matches and then individuals.
Okay, gotcha. Because you're saying the team came in first,
Right.
But there were individual competitions as well.
Yep. Yeah. So there was the grand aggregate, which was a Palma individual and then 4 1,000-yard line strings.
How did you feel?
I had a rough go. Whether it was my gun or not shooting in a bit, kind of got there and was on my own little struggle bus. But for the team matches, I shot amazing with a different gun. So I just have to fine tune a few more things. I've only shot this gun in a few matches. I shot in the nationals last year, and then that was really kind of it. So it has maybe 500 rounds on it right now, which may seem like a lot, but it's a small amount in the grand scheme of things.
So would this type of match really be considered for what it is? So the fact that it's sort of isolated, it's during this time of year, and people are still kind of getting the rust out, I'd imagine. I know for baseball, you got spring training. You'll have the greatest pitcher in the league come out there and get shelled because he's still, getting in the groove, and he's got a couple of weeks to still bring it up to a boil. Is that a good comparison for this type of a match, that it's really not like it's for all the marbles or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. It's more of a figure out what you have to fix and kind of start the progress of moving into the season. When I came back with a list of things that I need to work on and change to lead me up into the nationals to be able to win the nationals. So when I view it, it's more of that training event, but you need the real life pressure of being in a match scenario, and Arizona gets crazy winds compared to what we get at most of the matches over here. So being forced to read a 25-mile-per-hour wind that's swapping every 30 seconds, you have to be on the ball and either pick a condition to shoot in or try not to chase the wind, and it forces you to really use all of those skills that you've developed to achieve accuracy.
What kind of gun is the new gun?
So I have a 6.5 Creedmoor, and then I built a 7mm Remington short action Ultramag. So those are my 2 any guns that I shoot at 1,000 yards, and I have a 308 Palma rifle.
Favorite gun of all time?
I would go with the M16. I've shot it the most. I have a lot of big records with it, and I know that gun in and out. There's no doubt in my mind about it. But if I had to say, like, if I had to go to the range tomorrow and pick one gun, I would pick my 7mm.
Interesting. Any reason behind that?
Behind picking the 7mm or the M16?
Right. The 7mm, because I think you explained the M16, why you like it.
The 7mm, my Army 7mm it was a hammer, and I shot it for 6 years. So the 6.5 caliber is still unknown to me, even though I've shot very well with it. I don't have a great grasp of understanding because I haven't shot enough rounds.
Gotcha. What about handguns? Do you have a favorite handgun?
Not really. Right now I've been shooting the M17 because that's what the Army just went to. So it's the new SIG, and I enjoy it. I have a Glock, but I honestly have more rounds right now on an M17 than I have on any other pistol because I'm not that big of a pistol person, which just means that is the pistol I'm familiar with at this point.
Gotcha. Do you prefer the way SIG or Glock fits in your hand better?
I honestly couldn't give you a fair comparison.
Okay.
I haven't done the go to the range, shoot one, swap to the other.
Oh, some people swear that pick one up, I can say for me with Springfield, that's absolutely the case. I can handle 500 guns with my eyes closed and say this one's a Springfield because it just fits right in the hand.
We'll do that next week on the show.
Really? That's going to be the experiment. That would be a fun experiment. Right.
398.
I told him put 40 Springfields in front of him and see if he can confuse.
That'd be good. I like that one.
And then it make me take them apart and put them back together.
Right. How many rounds have you shot through the M16, you think?
I've probably shot when I was in the Army, probably 6,000 to 7,000 rounds a year.
Wow.
10 years of that.
Wow.
And
That's
then probably 3,000 rounds every year as a junior.
Okay, cool.
So
Very
whatever number that equals, if you were doing the math there.
It was 2,586,422.
I think that's a close number. We might have missed one or two.
Right. A lot.
All right, we're going to shift gears here to important stuff. Jeremy says Mike eats pizza with pineapple. Those are fighting words, sir.
The Hawaiian pizza? That's pretty good. I've had that.
The favorite pizza place? Amanda, go.
I don't have a favorite pizza place.
Do you not like pizza?
I love pizza, and I really like a white pizza with pepperoni and garlic.
Okay.
It's respectable. I don't have like a go-to place. The sad thing is, I would say I've probably ate a lot of Little Caesars pizza.
No,
I don't want to claim that.
Aren't they one of your sponsors? Aren't they one of your sponsors?
There's a couple of old Italian. Yeah, I hope they're paying you to say that.
Right.
No, it's I don't know. Maybe it's a childhood thing. It just the deep dish pepperoni is pretty tasty.
Right.
Could be.
Right.
You've got to eat quite a bit on the road, though, right?
Correct. Yeah. I'm definitely eating a lot on the road, and when you go different places, you just kind of figure out what's there. I would say almost every place we go to, we find a sushi restaurant, which some people find really weird. We'll find one in the middle of landlocked states, and some people say there's no way I'm going to eat that.
Yeah, listen, I lived in Oklahoma for 6 years. You couldn't pay me to eat sushi in Oklahoma. It's
I would eat.
Where are they getting this from?
Yeah, I would eat it nonstop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You and Liberty, you do the sushi in Oklahoma and gas station tuna challenge, right?
I would do it. I like a good adventure.
Yeah, I don't know about adventure. It looked like Liberty was going to pop in and say something about gas station tuna fish. No?
I was just laughing.
Oh, you're just laughing.
I was giggling.
What is your pizza place?
My favorite pizza place?
Yeah.
So that would be L&B Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn, right by the Marlboro Projects in Gravesend. I say that's got to be number one on the list. Or Joe's and Pat's in Staten Island. Yeah, probably over the last few years, Joe's and Pat's has taken over. I have a buddy of mine, believe it or not, he's an attorney out in Pittsburgh, sent me for Christmas some frozen Joe's and Pat's pizza through this website called Gold Belly, where you can get food from anywhere in the country. So if you got a place you like in Vegas, let's say, or New York or LA, they'll ship it out to you. And so he sent over Joe's and Pat's for Christmas. I called him up. I said, how'd you know I love this place? This is, walking distance from where I lived on Staten Island. And it was on the same block at the cigar shop where I worked. And he said, I didn't know that you were familiar with the place. I just thought everybody knew that this was the best place. So if you're ever on Staten Island, Chris, did I ever take you over there when we were in Staten Island?
No, we need to go though.
No, that's a good
Yeah,
good
when
spot.
we're there, we'll have to swing on by.
Yeah, we need to get a Gold Belly sponsor.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep. But I could rattle off a bunch of different pizza places depending on where you're at in New York to get a legitimate slice. You got to be pretty good over there because if you're not, you're gonna go out of business very quickly. because
Yeah, that's
people
like
have
the
other
pizza
options.
place. Right.
You know. So, what about you, Philly Chris? Any pizza advice? We're only up at
You know,
world shooting champion of the planet. Let's talk about pizza and ice cream.
actually, there was a really good place in my hometown there up in New Hampshire called Athens, and it was like a Greek style pizza. It was really good ingredients, good owners, family run place. But there's a lot of great places around here. You can't beat like some of the pizza places in Norristown and down in Philly and stuff. But
Yeah.
but
So when you would go to New York, would you go to special restaurants and stuff like that, Amanda?
No.
What were you going there for?
My grandma would take us to go and see Broadway. So we went and saw Cats or The Lion King and a few different other things. But I can't really say that I've more or less explored New York. I've gone a couple times with like some girlfriends to go out and party and go and do that route of things. But
nice.
I honestly don't think I have favorite restaurants,
No.
especially in New York.
Gotcha.
That's not really my place, I guess.
Feel more comfortable out in the country in Lebanon County?
I do. I enjoy the rural area, and I have a big truck, so my truck's definitely not going to make it into New York City very easily. That's just frustrating.
Forget it. Have you ever driven to New York?
I have driven very close to it. I wouldn't say I've gone downtown New York, but that in itself is a pain. And I promise myself every time I accidentally cross the GW that I will never cross it again.
Yeah. You gotta be a special kind of person to drive over there, right?
How about it?
I think I learned every curse word that I know from driving with my uncle to Yankees games when I was 5 and 6 years old. It's traumatizing as a child, right? Anybody else have that experience, or is it just me? Anybody else have an Uncle Jimmy who used to curse people out on the road while taking to the Yankees game?
Somebody had to.
So you did watch the Yankees growing up?
No.
No. Did you just say that to appease me so we didn't get...
I didn't know you were a Yankees fan.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm not a big sports fan, so it was kind of who we hung out with. And my uncle would probably be really mad at me that I said the Yankees. I don't think he's a Yankees fan. I can't even think of who he's a fan of, though, because I'm not going to lie. I confuse baseball and football teams together constantly. And it's not that great for me.
Well, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Somebody feels that way.
So your favorite baseball team is the Jets, is what you meant, right?
That's right.
Great.
One of the best football teams is the Harlem Globetrotters.
The Harlem
I know who they are.
Kick it through the hoop for a home
They're
run.
They're fun.
Glenn Larson says Little Caesars equals cardboard, no offense.
I saw that. I laughed at these guys bashing me for my Little Caesars.
Brian says eating Little Caesars like someone using you as a human shield in a gunfight.
I will say, in case anybody's looking for range food, it doesn't have to be Little Caesars, but pizza in general, 90% of the time is a really good range snack if you have leftovers.
That's true.
I'll tell you what you do. You don't put it in the fridge. You take your box of pizza, you either leave it in the truck, or like if it's hot, you bring it inside at least. And then you take it to the range the next day. When the sun starts to come up, you throw it on the dash or on the back of the truck bed and let it warm up, and then you eat your pizza, and it's delicious.
Nice.
Is that safe medically?
It's
fine.
In time.
It's fine. Actually, it's a good idea. I like that. It's kind of like a pizza MRE.
I think you're taking some kind of risk of foodborne illness. No.
Just don't put your pizza on the ground. I made that mistake one time. The ants found it, and then I swapped my pizza with someone else that I had pizza.
And
Squidward.
they got to eat the ants.
One of your competitors is eating fire ants.
I
while you're
don't
on the-
Oh
Hey.
no.
And that's how I won the world
That's
championship.
right. What happened to Jody over there? She's running from the line.
The guy was vomiting for days. He had
My
no
mouth
no
is on
chance.
fire.
would be a technique.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works.
And Brian Harper says salmonella. I
What
always thought
happened
that
to your
sounded like the
pony?
name of an Italian guy, right? This is my
Sal-
buddy Salmonella.
It's my uncle.
My
So,
Uncle Sal.
salmonella.
Glenn Larson asks about greasy trigger fingers. Is that an issue if you eat too much pizza?
Nope. I would say the bigger issue is eating Cheetos.
Oh,
Huh?
Cheetos. Okay. All right.
Get the orange Cheeto dust everywhere.
They'll
I gotta be
make your
careful with
gun
the Cheetos.
orange.
Has that been an issue in the past?
I like Cheetos. So.
That's kind of like that. There's a reason why there was a sign about pajamas. There's a reason Amanda's warning us about Cheetos.
I like Cheetos too. They're good.
So what about you're saying that when you're on the like it depends whether you're on the road or what your normal day will look like and what you eat
Correct.
and everything like that. So you're on the road. You're having a burrito in Arizona. Is it good sometimes just to be home? And like, what does that look like? You wake up in the morning. You're at home. What time do you wake up? Is it 4:15 in the morning?
I wake up about 6:30.
6:30.
Yeah, depending on what day of the week it is, kind of. Maybe
Not
6, maybe
terrible.
6:30. And
Did
then
you always like waking up early in the morning?
no,
No.
no, I am the person that on a Saturday or Sunday will sleep till 10 and be quite content. I'll
10.
wake up at
Oh.
Oh,
10.
But
makes you think
Sleep
that.
is good for
Making
you.
you look like Mr. Rogers right now.
That's when she does her mental work. She's doing her visualizations.
correct.
Saturdays, yeah.
But no, I mean, you get into a roll of it. So if I have to wake up before 5 a.m., I am very unhappy. And then if my clock starts in the 5 o'clock hour, I'm still not the happiest. So if I can work my alarm till 6 o'clock, 6:05, that's probably for the best for all of us. When we're shooting, generally though, it's up at 5:30 at the range by 6:15, and then walking down range, roll call, X, Y, and Z's usually by 7, and then you'll start shooting at 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
What about Arizona? Because you get the time change.
Uh,
What time are you getting there in Arizona?
I was still getting up at 5:45.
So at this time of year, I always forget because they don't do daylight savings time. They're one of
Right.
the states that was like, no, that's
Yeah.
stupid. We're just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Which I commend them for that.
Yeah,
do their own thing.
they're 2 hours behind.
2 hours this time of year, because
Mhm.
2 or 3 depending on
Right.
what
Yeah.
time of year. I played ball out there for the summer, but so they were 2 hours behind. So you're up at 5:30, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So 3:30 East Coast time.
7:30 East.
7:30. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards. Oh,
Yeah.
so that's even better then.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad, but then you're staying up till 10, which is really midnight.
Gotcha.
Pays off. But like coming home is nice because then I kind of have the same schedule, and you can sleep in your own bed and you can cook meals. The hardest part of being on the road is eating out all the time. So if we go somewhere and somebody we know lives there and they invite you to come over for dinner, that is a blessing in itself. And
Really?
yep, you're like, what are you making? Hot dogs, hamburgers? I don't care. Be there. I just want a little bit of a home cooked meal.
That's cool. Are you a cook yourself?
I dabble in cooking. I am
Yeah.
capable of cooking.
What's your go-to? Say you really had to impress somebody. They were coming over. What are you making?
Man. Somebody was coming over and I had to impress them.
Yeah.
I would probably make a steak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I would do a steak and then maybe some roasted broccoli and some diced up potatoes if I'm already roasting the broccoli. And then I have a mean recipe for a mac and cheese. that is homemade, and it's really light and fluffy. I haven't made it in a while, but it's pretty tasty. And I make homemade cinnamon rolls. Those take about 4 to 5 hours, but they are delicious.
Are any of these recipes handed down from your family?
No.
No. So this is all original stuff.
From the internet.
From the internet.
There we go.
You know, nobody was going to hold you accountable, Amanda.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, so,
After many years of trial and error, I've perfected macaroni and cheese.
Several generations.
the funny thing that you mentioned, is it a family recipe, is so my family does have like a spinach dip that my aunt will make every year for holidays. And she then made us a recipe book and included in it a couple of different family recipes for a cheesecake, I think a different type of bread, and this spinach dip. It was at that point that we all learned that the family recipe for spinach dip is just the spinach dip on the Knorr box.
Oh,
No.
well, there you have it.
Wow.
Knorr makes some good stuff.
They do.
Yeah. Use their
Brian
bouillon
wants to
cubes.
know if you ever make the steak and broccoli before you go to the range and leave them on the dashboard.
Should I give him the real answer?
The real
Oh,
answer,
no.
Yes, I definitely have.
Oh, I'm very concerned about you, Amanda.
But so
She-
I did it the
How are
other
you not
day.
living in the hospital?
She was in the military. She can handle it.
I guess that must
other
play
day.
some role, right?
Yeah.
We were on the range, and it was one of those cold days, and I mean, it just stayed cold the whole time. It was basically in its own refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So then
Yeah.
you can stick it in the microwave or just put it out to get warm in the sun for a little bit.
I
Sure.
can see that. If it's the same temperature as a refrigerator, then
Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything.
yeah.
I'm gonna try
Oh,
this
okay.
at the range next time. If it
Fair
doesn't
enough.
work, you got a nice
I
pizza
concede.
market. Yeah.
So another thing that I wanted to know, you're living in Lebanon County. I'd imagine there are a lot of small local farms
Mhm.
where you can get meat, eggs, things like that. Is that something that's becoming, well, was that available where you were previously living?
When I was in Harleysville, we had a farmer right down the road that we bought like half of his cow or something. So we had like fresh meat and everything. But up here, I'm definitely surrounded by a lot of chicken farms. And a couple of the people that I work with have chickens and way too many eggs. So I do get eggs from them,
Awesome.
which is
Okay.
handy. And then I actually got some meat from a farm called Bat's Farm. And they have goats and cows. So they slaughter the cows. I'm not sure if they've slaughtered any of the goats, but they
Do you generally eat goat or
no. I just know people do.
really? Never tried it though.
Oh, you never had goat?
No, I've never tried. Have
Oh,
you
it's
ever
good.
tried goat, Amanda?
No, I haven't.
Liberty's gonna. We're about to all get blown up by Liberty right now. Liberty's over there at the state capitol lobbying for animals, and we're talking about eating all of them. Are you,
Amanda's
are you
buying half
furious
the
with
cows
us,
and
Liberty?
stuff.
No, I'm just thinking of Jenny and Jasmine, my parents' goats that passed because they rescued them. So
Oh.
Rescue goats. We'll leave the goats alone. So,
Hmm.
what about the eggs? Do you ever get any duck eggs? Have you ever tried those?
I've never had a duck egg. Have you?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. One of my good buddies, he's a federal firearms licensee, and he's an active law enforcement officer, lives out in the country, and he's got chicken eggs and duck eggs. The duck eggs are larger, and I don't even know how to describe them. They're different. Maybe richer is a good way to describe them.
Yeah.
These big yellow yolks. Amazing. Definitely something that everybody should try. I don't think they're readily available commercially. So maybe
How
we
do you cook them?
get just the way you would cook a normal egg.
But how do you like your egg?
Oh,
Omelet.
Scrambled?
see, I'm a little bit of a. You're saying that you're an ice cream connoisseur. I'm a little bit of an egg connoisseur. So it depends on the mood and where I am. I've been known to order half a dozen eggs at a restaurant.
Different ways or the same way?
Yeah. And depends on where I am. Right?
Okay, all right.
I could do a good scrambled. I do prefer over well sometimes though,
Oh
where
yeah.
the yolk is hard.
Mhm.
You're on
That's-
the same page with that, Amanda?
I do not like runny yolks in any way, shape, or form.
Hmm. Do you call it over well,
I say hard.
over hard? I guess over easy, over hard. Oklahoma, they always said over well. I don't know if it was just an Oklahoma thing. But, so when you're in the South, they seem to have the best breakfast. Like Oklahoma, I guess that's not really the South, but Georgia, North Carolina, don't they? It's just different than it is up here, isn't it?
Yeah, they have different things.
Yeah. What would be your favorite, like in one of those places? And do you ever make that stuff at home? You like big eggs and bacon kind of person, or?
I have baked eggs in bacon grease before because I've cooked the bacon right beforehand, but it's not my go-to thing. I wouldn't
Oh,
say.
no, I don't think that's what I was saying. I think it's eggs and bacon, not eggs in bacon.
Sounds fun. I think I'll try it.
Mhm.
I'm not a Southern breakfast classic. I absolutely hate biscuits and gravy. I think it's horrible. I don't like grits.
You
But
don't like grits.
no,
How dare you?
Uh-oh.
All right, that's it. You're fired. Go away.
Listen, there's a couple of things I won't accept on this program: Red Sox and insults to grits.
take it all back.
So what would you prefer? Well,
There was a place that I found actually in downtown Columbus. Plucked Up Chicken, I think is the name of it. And they use their biscuits and make a French toast biscuit, which is absolutely delicious. And they also do fried chicken, obviously. And so you could get like the French toast biscuits and then a side of their chicken strips. It was pretty tasty.
Sounds pretty good.
Billy, Chris, any recommendations?
With eggs?
Yeah.
I love cooking with eggs. I like a good omelet.
Ah.
Some onions and garlic and maybe some mushroom.
A healthy
Has-
omelet.
Yeah, I like omelets. I like cooking with omelets.
You saying you prefer a healthy omelet, Amanda?
I feel like he did. I would have put ham and cheese and bacon and
I'll do that too sometimes, but yeah. Actually, I just made one the other day with some fresh eggs from a farm, and they're better. You know, the yolks are darker. I'm sure they're healthier than what you get at the grocery store a lot of the time. So yeah, I love eggs too.
I feel like we're gonna go to the restaurant and see an omelet on the menu that's eggs. What do you say? Ham and bacon and cheese, and it's gonna be called the Mud Lady. Right? Yeah, I'll
There we
take the
go.
Mud Lady. Thanks.
The Mud Lady omelet.
The Mud Lady special.
Mhm.
Let's say we're looking forward, and it's the end of the year. It's the end of the season, right? You've completed your 2022 season, Amanda. What would you look back on and consider? This is what I've set out to achieve this year. This was a successful year for Amanda Elsenboss.
so you're asking more so what my goals are for the season?
Yeah. So, what would it take this year during your season for you to look back? Like, let's say we're having you back on in October, and we're looking back on the season, and you say, "Yes, I set out everything that I wanted to do this year. This was a successful year in my book."
I would say a couple of my big goals to make it successful. First off, is related to the National Guard team. So we shoot 4-man team matches, 6-man team matches, and 10-man team matches. And this last year we were second place in a majority of the matches, and I truly think we have the depth and the capability to be in first place. So as a influencer, so to say, to the team and a coach for the team and a shooter who's capable of affecting the others on the team, I would like for us to win a team match in a national or inter-service championship that proves that we are coming together fully as a team now and we've got the depth to win those things.
Is there anything personally that you think that you need to achieve this year, or are you at the point in your career where, listen, I've done everything that I have set out to do, and as an individual, if this is it, then I'm cool with that.
Oh, I definitely would like to win the nationals again. Whether that's the NRA Nationals, I believe we will be going to it. So I would like to win it back to back. It was kind of funny maybe not the first time, but I placed third in it, then I placed second, and then I placed first last year. So I would like to place first again, or be in those top three, definitely competing for it. And then on the CMP side, it's hard to say what everybody's goals or outcomes are, but whether it's the National Trophy individual match or the President's 100, those are both big matches that I know I'm capable of winning. I know I have the potential to win, and those are trophies that I would like to take home.
Very cool. As far as the Palma team goes, has anybody ever told you that when you look at the website, you stand out a little bit?
Yes, we actually talk about it all the time, because if you look at any of the younger individuals basically on there, all of us are on a military team.
Gotcha.
So it is a military team of either active duty Army or Army National Guard. And then you've got individuals who are a little bit older than us to a lot older than us, but they all have a lot of criteria and knowledge that makes the team what it is.
How old's the oldest guy on the team? Do you know?
I would believe that the oldest person on the team is in their 60s.
Okay.
So the Palma
and
team.
Are you the youngest person on the team?
No. Forrest Greenwood. Actually, Adam Fitzpatrick is the youngest person, I believe. Either Adam or Luke are the youngest. They're both in their low 20s.
Wow. But are you the only female in your age range?
There are, yes, I'm the only female in my age range. There's one other female on the team, Trudy Faye.
And she's a little bit older.
I would say Trudy's in her. Sorry, Trudy. 50.
Don't say. She's not your same age. That's all we know.
Trudy's been shooting for eternity. She is an amazing shooter, and she's from the Midwest, and she shoots in really hard conditions constantly. You just are blown away by that. She's from New Mexico, I believe.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. The Palma team is definitely an older crowd.
Yeah. Different.
Yes.
So what was that like when you first got involved, though? Do you feel like you stick out, or do you feel you have that common bond that, hey, we're all here to do one thing, whether or not, I'm the only woman in my age range to be a part of the team?
I don't feel that I stick out, because I started with the under 21 team.
Gotcha.
The United States has an under 21 team, under 25, the U.S. Palma team, and then they have a veterans team, which is the Bald Eagles. And you kind of are known for what you're capable of. So when I got to the Palma team, I wasn't an unknown. I was a known shooter who had capabilities that was wanted on the team. And I don't see being a woman as making me stand out. I don't see being young as making me stand out, because there are certain things that I'm capable of that somebody else might not be capable of, because their eyes might be a little worse, or they just can't lay down there as long.
Sure. I'm not saying you're not going to kick everybody's butts. What I'm saying is that there's something different about you from everybody else.
Am
and
I
listen,
smiling?
you what's that?
I said, am I smiling in the photos? Is that
That's correct. That is exactly what I meant. I meant you're from Connecticut. No, you other people are from Connecticut. No, but you experience that in any team sport. I mean, if you're from New York and you're going out to Oklahoma to play college baseball, you're not likely to be around other New Yorkers, right?
right?
And my experience with the team sports is always that if we're all putting the team first, then none of that matters. You'll get people from all walks of life and all over the place. And we didn't have any females on the team, obviously. It's a different kind of sport, but I was just curious as to whether that even ever crosses your mind when you're doing this sort of thing, because it's to be there and be doing that. You sort of look at it as an accomplishment, right?
I would say that it crosses your mind, but only for a few seconds.
Gotcha.
And you generally it's when somebody brings it up, because in the grand scheme of things, nobody's looking at your gender or your age. They're looking at what you're capable of.
Right.
With rifle shooting, the best thing is it doesn't matter. So baseball, for example, it matters how fast you can pitch, how strong you are, how hard you can hit. I don't have to do any of that. All we have to do is compare a tangible score to another
Right.
tangible score, where my capabilities outside of squeezing a trigger and lining up sights don't matter. We have there's an F-class shooter who doesn't have one arm. It doesn't work. So he has a exception to policy, shoots off of a different type of rest, and he's still competing on the same target as everybody else. So it doesn't your possible differences are void and null at that point, because
Right.
the shooting world doesn't acknowledge that. They acknowledge what your final outcome is.
Good.
Has anybody ever said to you that you're the best female shooter and you have to correct them and say, no, I am the best damn shooter on the planet, and that is what I have accomplished?
So it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember when I was very young, I was shooting sporting clays with my dad, and one of his friends came up to me and he said that I was doing good for a girl.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I was already in tears prior to him telling me that, because my gun wasn't cycling. I was just having a horrible day and I wanted nothing to do with it. And that was when I realized, I guess, that to some people they do view, oh, hey, well, you're doing great for a girl. Well, I don't go up to guys and say, hey, you're doing great for a guy. Hey, I'm real proud of you. But maybe it's something that I'll just start to do to kind of post that.
Hey, kind of trendy right now.
Yeah, I will say, being on a competitive team with a bunch of guys, especially for the National Guard or when I was active duty, they do give out a high woman trophy. And when you're at that level that myself and others are at, they question that trophy, because when I win outright, they don't give out a high man award.
Mm.
So why am I giving you a high woman award? But at the same time, it continues to pull women into the sport, because it is broken apart into categories. It's broken into woman, senior, junior, military, policeman. There are so many different categories that it at times is just looked at simply as the category, not
Another category. Yeah, it's not this. It's just another category.
right.
There's a female fighter who said something about that recently. I don't want to be considered the best female fighter. I want to be considered the best fighter on
Correct.
the planet.
Yeah.
And then she lost the belt and her title reign ended, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Amanda Nunes. So we'll keep an eye on her rematch.
See what happens.
That's crazy stuff, though. I had a similar experience the first time I shot, where my uncle came out and said I was doing good for a girl.
I remember that.
If I told you this story, you keep in mind, right? That raised in New York, raised in Brooklyn and Staten Island, so guns are not a thing out there. The first time I exposed to firearms in Kansas, it's Thanksgiving. And every Thanksgiving in Kansas, all the men, women, and children, after we eat turkey, go outside and they shoot their guns. So this is the first time that I'm exposed to civilians with firearms ever. And we go out there, and they got the thrower lined up. And Uncle teaches me, the basic rules of safety. Here's what you do. Here's what you don't do. Please don't kill anybody. Thank you. And sets me up over there. I'm there for like an hour. And I think I hit one. We've got, every single woman there and man and child can shoot. There's like guys dusting them. And finally, this one dude comes out. He's like 99 and a half years old. I don't know how he even walked up to the line. Like, if there was a wind gust, this guy was going to fall over. I don't know that he knew who the current president was.
He's talking about me, by the way.
And he gets out there, and I didn't even think it was safe for him to hold the gun. I was like, hey, is this allowed over
trigger,
here?
Mike? Which one's the trigger?
This guy. He goes out there. He dusts 2 in a row, and he's done. I'm like, gosh. So the next year I come back. I'm like, my goal is to beat the old guy, right? Because he's still alive. He's still around. He's not in as good of shape. So we're out there, and within the first 10 minutes, I hit 3. And so I'm like, all right, I'm good. I beat the old guy from last year. I'm retiring. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And then I swear it was just like it was in a movie. Maybe I just saw it like this in my head. The old man like kicks the door open, and it opens in slow motion. He's standing there, and he's got his jacket on, and he's got his gun, and he's walking out, and he's like there to avenge what just took place and show me that I'm not leaving the boss. He goes, pull, boom, 1, right? 1 for 1. He goes like 3 in a row. I'm like, no, I can't be done. I've got to beat this guy. And I sat there totally competitive with the guy for the next 30 minutes. It was probably unhealthy, but anyhow, when you told about your experience, it reminded me of how poorly that went.
The big question is, have you been shooting since then and gotten better at your shotgun skills?
Oh, the sort of. Well, shotgun is not something that I do terribly often, particularly in that setting. I do some defensive shotgun, but we're talking like 18-inch barrels. This is not something you want to go out there and do skeet or trap. But as far as training in terms of handgun stuff, and that's why I was asking you about sort of like the urban combat type scenarios. That's more along the lines of the stuff that I do, the courses.
Yeah.
That I do, because it has to do with my job, really, because I'm defending people who have had to use this stuff in real life, and you have to know the way this works. And you find that you deal with these prosecutors who are trying to put these people in jail for the rest of your life and have no idea the way this stuff really works on the street. But anyhow, enough about me. People are tuning in to listen to you. Champ, do you have any questions for the champ, Chris?
When we were just talking there and you were sharing your story about kind of your first experience shooting, what was your experience like, Amanda, the first time you ever shot a firearm?
So the first time I shot a firearm, I was 5 or 6, I think, and I was with my dad, and he was part of a sporting clays club, and it was complete accident. So most people can't say it was an accident that they ended up shooting, but my dad would drag me along with him, and we were there, and my friend Justin, one of his friend's son, was scorekeeping. And I went up to my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, I want to do what Justin's doing. Well, by the time I finally got to my dad, Justin was shooting. And my dad was like, okay, you're going to start shooting at some point or another. Might as well start now. So
Cool.
He took that clay pigeon box, put it out in the grass, maybe 10 yards away, and put the shotgun into his shoulder. And I just kind of stood in front of him, pointed it at the box, and let her rip. And
nice.
I completely missed it. And then he assisted me after the fact, and I managed to hit the box. And got done, and as a young kid, you can't really, parents don't fully grasp what you're trying to do. And I guess I told him, like, Dad, it's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep score. I wanted to write excellent.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. All right.
That's all I wanted to do.
Right. All of a sudden you have a gun in your hand. Yeah, that's cool.
Right. So from there, though, we were pretty stuck on it. And we started in a small bore club. So I was shooting a 22 when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Nice.
And just kind of went on from there. At this point, it's so hard to remember when firsts happened because they're not a big thing for me. But one funny thing that you might laugh at is I had never shot a BB gun until maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, no way.
Really?
Oh, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
So a BB gun was never in my house. It was something that my dad, as a young child, never had because my grandmother's philosophy was you can shoot your friend with a BB gun and he'll be able to walk away from it. You can't shoot your friend with a 22 and walk away from it. So I never grew up with a BB gun. I didn't have a pellet rifle. I didn't have any of that. I had rifles and shotguns, and that was how it was. So the other day I was actually shooting a little Red Ryder with a friend's kids.
Nice.
So I had to keep looking at him, being like, "How do I use this thing?
He'll shoot your eye out."
Yeah, somebody show me what to do here.
What do you do with this?" He's like, "Oh, you drop a pellet in the front and use this little plastic thing." What? This makes no sense. So that's entertaining when I do get shocked and I end up shooting something that I don't have the experience with.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool. Very
What about a flamethrower? Any experience with flamethrowers?
No experience with a flamethrower. I have shot a 320 grenade launcher, but no flamethrower. Sorry.
Nice. Be fun.
But do you have one?
Looking back on
Need to get one.
looking back
Is there a range
on
for
that
that?
first time that you shot, isn't it amazing to think back that Dad didn't know, okay, you were going to be the best in the world at this someday. Like, isn't that something to think about? Isn't that wild?
It is crazy, and
maybe he did know.
He's like, you were going to be the best in the world.
Maybe it was a plan all along.
You were going to be the greatest to ever walk the face of the earth.
Another story that goes with that is, so I'm right-handed, and I'm left eye dominant. So my father is right-handed, and everything he owns is right-handed. So by default, he was teaching me to shoot right-handed. And he and I went to a Connecticut State trap championship one year. And the DCOT high wad glasses guy was there, and my dad was getting me glasses. I'm blind as can be, so I needed a prescription inside of my shotgun glasses. I couldn't just get plain lenses.
Oh, wow.
And we went in, and the eye doctor looks at him. He goes, "You know she's left eye dominant." He's like, "No." And my dad had been fighting this for years at this point.
Funny. Yeah.
Trying not to admit that I was left-handed or left eye dominant. And the eye doctor, I don't necessarily remember it clear as day, but I remember it, of him telling me, you can stay shooting right-handed and be a good shooter, or you can swap and you can be a great shooter. And that was all that it took. The next day when my dad and I went to the range, it was, "Dad, I'm shooting left-handed." I made him buy me left-handed 22s,
nice
shotguns, everything that he thought he had figured out and was going to be able to pass down wasn't possible anymore.
Oh, wow.
So
big, yeah.
that to me, I would say is kind of the big moment where we realized, or at least I think it stands out, of I can be great. Like somebody physically told me, you can be great if you swap. And that was all that it took. I didn't need to hear anything.
Really?
That's cool.
So do you think that you go the same path if that doesn't get said?
Oh, boy. Sorry.
Go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't tell me you're on the air.
Who's calling the champ? Who's calling the champ? Is it your dad?
One of the guys from the AMU, Mr. Moran, is calling me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey now, Mr. Moran. Hey now.
How you doing? What's your favorite ice cream, Mr. Moran?
You're live on the air with Mike G.
What was the question?
Oh, what was the question? Is it-
What was the
We
question?
have a
What's the
court
question?
reporter here to read back the
Yeah.
transcript.
Russ, can you pull the tapes, Russ? Russ, our producer. We were talking about your eye.
Am I
the
supposed to
eye
record
thing and
this?
Oh,
the
I said,
switch
do you
to be
think
great.
do you think that
Yeah.
you lead the life and career that you've led if somebody doesn't tell you that you can be great at this? Do you think that same thing happens?
Maybe
Or
not.
was that important?
Maybe not as well or as quickly. I would say that it was definitely a stepping stone, and then I definitely progressed quickly as a junior. So at the time, my best friend Julie and I, we were the first 2 women to win a 2-man team match at the Nationals. So that propelled us forward. And then being a top shooter for the state of Connecticut and a top junior in the nation propelled me forward. Having different coaches tell me, hey, like, you are good at this. I think all that definitely builds in because you're solidifying the choices that you've made, and your mental game realizes, hey, I'm good at this. And the more you reinforce that, the more it sticks and the better off you are in the long run.
Makes sense.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So you have to get left-handed holsters for your handguns?
I shoot a pistol right-handed.
Okay. We might have talked. We might have spoken.
I think we did a little bit last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
I always like when I find people who share the plight of trying to find left-handed holsters.
It is a difficult task.
Yeah, good luck with
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm sure that your other hardware and everything on the left-handed side is not always easy to come by, right?
Yep. I had to have I wanted to have a new prone stock built, and I can't just buy that stock anymore. It's not made anymore. So I had one duplicated by a stock maker instead. So that in itself becomes difficult, or finding, like you said, certain hardware for a left-handed gun, or just ordering an action. Every store has a right-handed action, but nobody necessarily has the left-handed action.
Sure. Do you have any favorite stores in Pennsylvania?
Like gun stores?
Yeah, or any stores. If you feel like telling us about your
Anything's
favorite
good.
pet store or
We'll be
anything
right
like
back.
that, you can go ahead.
So I honestly haven't gone to any gun stores here in Pennsylvania. Not that I know of, but I do a bunch of shopping from Creedmoor Sports, or like Brownells when I need little small parts and everything. It all kind of depends on what you need. And then when we go out to the Nationals, they have Commercial Row, which has different stores out there. So if I know I need something, I'll try to buy it there because I can put it on. I can make sure that it fits. I can make sure that it's exactly what I need, and then I don't have to worry about returning it. Because the worst thing is when you order something and it gets there and you're like, oh man, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. And you're looking for very specific stuff too.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not like the average person going to the gun store and trying to find things. You get a different purpose here, right?
And maybe that's why I don't really frequent gun stores, is what I'm looking for is not there.
Yeah.
If I need ammo, 223, I could get there and go and plink with, or 9mm I could go and get, but I'm not gonna really find the 6.5 ammo that I want, or the 7 SOM ammo. So it doesn't really do me any good to go there.
Do you ever go to indoor ranges?
I have, but not in a very long time.
Oh yeah.
I shot in an indoor range when I was down at Fort Benning, but outside of that indoor range, I have not shot in an indoor range in probably 13 years.
Wow.
So it's definitely been a while. Most of the ranges that I go to are outdoor ranges. They're either 200-yard ranges or 600-yard or 1,000-yard ranges.
There are some really nice indoor ranges in central Pennsylvania, though, whether it's 717 or more over in Lancaster, Sportsman's Shops over in Lancaster County. You get Good little selection. I
don't know what
uh,
I would shoot inside of them. I
right.
think
Yeah. It depends on what your purpose is. Yeah.
Probably the grenade launcher.
Oh yes.
They got it's too bad you moved because King of Prussia, they just opened up a place called Shoot Indoors. And they got a Gatling over there.
Indoors.
Do they?
Gatling, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
We go tomorrow?
Vegas. That's that range that you can go and shoot whatever weapon you
Oh
want.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they've got some stuff over. Yeah, they've got some pretty cool stuff. We had our office party over there a couple of weeks ago. Me and the boys. I forgot. Yeah, I've been sending you those checks. I forgot you were on the payroll now.
Don't forget for next year, okay?
Okay, you got it. Oh yeah, we just rented out one of the rooms. They had all of us in there and 9 million guns that everybody brought for a couple of hours. It's a very, very nice facility. I don't know that it would suit any of your purposes or anything, but if you want to go have a good time with some handguns and even some long guns, beautiful facilities, just pristine. You know, when I started shooting out in Oklahoma, a place where I was a member, it was not what I'd call a pristine establishment, is I guess what I'm looking for. It wasn't like the facilities were in tip-top shape or anything like that, you know?
Wild West.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We were roughing it a little bit over at this place. Now, very high quality instructors. I mean, well decorated, many awards and everything like that, and good guys. But I go to some of these facilities in Pennsylvania that look like they're brand new and everything's, perfect in there. It's like, this is a far cry for an I was used to every Friday and Saturday for that many years. But I guess I'm talking about this, probably sounds like a foreign language because you said you haven't been to an indoor range in 13 years. Do you notice that some outdoor ranges are like different levels of quality though?
Correct. Yes, that is definitely the case. And going to different clubs allows you to see how different setups are. And some places have really nice grass and easy berms that tell you what yard line you're at. And then you have some that the berms are 20 feet above the firing lines. You're wondering what's going on. You get to the pits and you have a monstrosity of a target to move up and down. I remember there's a range in Louisiana that probably has the easiest targets to run. They're on PVC pipe, and you can lift them with your fingertips. You just give them a little up, and up they run, and same to take them down. And you get to the national championships, and those targets have been there for 80 years, 100 years. They're close to the original frames, and you are using all of your body weight to move them up and down. So you definitely see different ranges. I personally, Quantico, Virginia has what I think of as a great 1,000-yard line range. The Marines train on it, and that's where our inner service is held. And maybe it's because that's a range that I've shot on for my entire high-power career, but it is a beautiful range to me. It's kind of in a little valley. It's got trees on either side of it, and it goes to 1,000 yards. And the orientation of the target with the sun, everything on it just fits the build. You're not blinded. You're not having to worry about staring into the sun all day. And it's just a pleasant range.
So if you had to pick one place to shoot every day, that would be it?
Probably.
Yeah. Is there a close second? Because you had to think about it for a second, right? You did hesitate, right? I'm not making that up.
I did hesitate. So when I think of a range, my mind automatically goes to Fort Benning to easily range because that's where I spent 10 years, Monday through Friday, shooting at. So when I think of a range, that's the very first range that pops into my head, and it is well maintained. It's a great range, but you stare directly into the sun. That is the worst part of that range. And if I could move that range somewhere else or just give it like a 180 flip, it would be a different story.
Will you be building your own range someday?
I would love to have a 600-yard range in my backyard. That is definitely a goal of mine. You know, have a house, a barn or a shed or something that could be like reloading, weapons, you know, maintenance, X, Y, and Z, and then a range and hopefully a spot for the horse as well. He doesn't have to live there. He could stay at a barn somewhere else, but having a range in a backyard would definitely be a payoff.
How far off from there do you think we are?
Well, there are a few things that I don't really want to buy a house by myself or property. You know, there are a few things that still have to happen.
I feel like Kevin from Home Alone jumping up on the bed. I got the place all to myself. Made my family disappear.
There's a lot of malls for sale right now. You could
You'd
get
be
yourself
eating
a nice
ice cream and
indoor.
watching those movies, right? Didn't he do that in one of the scenes? He's like, I'm eating ice cream, watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. I know, like my parents' property, we have 4 acres on one side of the road and 3 acres on the other, and we used to shoot across our pond, and that was 100 yards.
Oh wow! So you need 6 times that?
I would love 6 times. If I had to compromise, I would go with maybe a 300-yard range.
How many acres is 600 yards?
That's a great question,
I
Mike.
don't know. That's a good question.
We didn't go by. I mean, when we lived in New York, you don't go by acres. Like,
Yeah.
we got somebody had like 100 by 100 property. It's like, whoa, look at that rich guy over there.
I mean, so what? A city block is how big's a block?
Let me look up how long an acre is.
I think it's an acre.
So, you know,
Look that up.
how long is an
We've
acre?
got questions for you over here. Somebody asks, do you shoot with left-handed ammunition?
Negative. They
No.
don't exist.
Wasn't that part of the Kyle Rittenhouse case?
I looked it up and it's 0.124 acres.
Is a city block?
It's 600
Or-
yards.
600 yards.
Yeah.
But is
600
that
yards.
like one little narrow strip?
Yeah, right. So you're
It
gonna have
said
to have.
Well, the Google said square. I just asked it about yards, and it's like, oh, that's this many square yards. I'm like,
Yeah, no, that can't be right.
okay.
That can't be right. What's that?
That seems very small.
Yeah, no.
Problem is, a
can't be.
yard could be a different length and width, so you need like you know, you kind of have to know what a square yard is.
Football field's 100 yards.
Correct.
And if you live on,
Yeah.
3/4 of an acre of property or an acre of property, your backyard does not look like a football field.
Right.
Rita wants you to come out to the range.
Let me know. I'll be there.
Rita says, Mike, when we go to the range, maybe Amanda can join us. Brian says, Amanda, do you teach house clearing mechanics to small groups, as in come to our venue, no actual shooting, just education on motion and tactics?
Nice.
I never have, but I would not be opposed to it.
I'll set you up with Brian. He's the gentleman I was telling you who's also been a guest on this program.
Okay.
Martial arts instructor and not a knife fighting instructor. Edge to weapon
Edge
combat
weapon,
tactics.
defense master, ninja.
Defense master. The main man,
Right.
Brian Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions? Does Liberty or Russ have any other questions for Amanda before we let her go? She's got to be up at 4:00 in the morning.
I know, right. No, I just want to say, really enjoyed catching up with you again. Thanks for coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Did you have fun? You're always welcome back. I think that we've had a lot of fun on the 2 episodes that you've joined us. Our audience certainly loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's blowing up on the comments, and we'll have 100,000 people listening over the airwaves in the morning, and I'm sure that many people will tune back in to check out the YouTube if they want to see us on camera, see the faces on camera. They all tune in to see Philly Chris's pretty face.
Unlikely, my friend, but I'll take it. Thanks.
Any other questions for anybody? Do you have any questions for us, Amanda? We do all the talking over here. We're like interrogating you.
I don't think I have any questions right now. I am a little worried about your your choices in ice cream and a few other things. But that's why.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Is it because of the Van Leeuwens and the Jennies? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're apparently a very highfalutin snob when it comes to ice cream that I didn't even realize was possible.
He's got all this lawyer money now, so he's
try it though, and you're gonna say, you know what? There's something to it here.
I can taste the cream in here.
I will definitely go to the store. I'll make a trip to Wegmans because I think that's the best bet of finding it. So next week, when I come back, I'm gonna go to Wegmans and I will look for the most expensive ice cream and I will just buy that one.
Just like, where's the Mike G ice cream?
So Luke Heim says, if I have vertical straining with my groups, the problem is always breathing, right?
So that's my boss. And
oh no.
Sounds like an inside joke then, huh?
It is an absolute inside joke. So the thing that the Army loves to teach you is if I go down range and I look at your target and you have strung out your shots vertically on the target, the issue obviously must be your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, can you tell me if that's true or not?
I'm sorry. I was too busy being irritated by you calling me highfalutin for ice cream. I missed the question.
Well, you shouldn't be breathing, right? You shouldn't be breathing.
I so rarely eat ice cream.
Mike's hung up on the ice cream.
I do it right. Like the steak, I'm going to Morton's,
Right.
Ooh, I do like Morton's Steakhouse. They are pretty tasty. But back to my question, Mike.
No. What's your favorite steakhouse?
When you are looking at somebody who's shooting and they shoot a group that has a shot here, a shot here, a shot here, and a shot here, the Army loves to tell you that is caused by breathing. The answer.
That's the only thing it could possibly be, right?
100% not the cause. Because all of us right now on this screen have a combined breathing age of, let's say, 100. And at no point have any of us been told when to take a breath or when not to take a breath. So your sights will naturally settle. And all I can tell from looking at a vertical stringing of shots is that is where the gun was pointed when it went off.
Gotcha. Right. That makes sense. I can tell you with certainty. So back to the steakhouse. What's your favorite steakhouse? Have you tried many steakhouses across the country because you're always traveling?
Yes. So that's one of the things I love to do when I travel is I will kind of save up my money, so to say, and go for one night at a fancy steakhouse. And I've done steaks in Houston when my sister was living down there. We went and did a couple matches. I had Wagyu down there. I've tried 60-day aged steak. I'm not a fan. It tasted like burnt popcorn to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Tasted like
old
steak.
Was that 60 days on the dashboard or?
I then learned that's kind of the option that goes with aged steaks of people either love the flavor or they find that it has almost a burnt popcorn flavor, which I never would have expected. But
multiple people have come back with the verdict burnt popcorn on this particular steak.
Yes, on like just aged steaks. They say this can be a flavor that some people get out of eating an aged steak.
Wow. No one
why that is. Yeah.
Wouldn't think that would be a flavor that people flock to, right?
Go order yourself a 60-day aged steak, Mike, and let me know.
I'll have the burnt popcorn steak, please.
I'll just have burnt popcorn.
How do you like it cooked? Because this is important.
Medium rare.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. It's not like you're getting it well done and it comes out tasting like burnt popcorn.
No, medium rare. And probably generally hold the onions and the mushrooms. Every once in a while, I'll go with mushrooms only.
If it's a good cut of meat, though, you really don't have to put anything on it. That's my philosophy, is
Correct.
That if you want a good, high-quality cut of meat, you shouldn't have to put other things on it. And if you do, then I'm going to go find a better cut of meat.
Correct. I've recently realized that I do enjoy cooked mushrooms. So depending on the location that I go to, I kind of like, I'll take the mushrooms and either eat them on the side or maybe eat a few with the steak. But I definitely have ate steaks in a lot of big cities, and I find it quite exciting. Or figuring out, you go to the steak place that is almost like a Morton's, where they have the steak and then you get a family size side.
Right.
And it's more so we're getting this side for the table, not just for me.
Right.
And then
Which Mortons did you go to, or have you been to multiple Mortons?
I went to the Mortons in Philadelphia. My aunt took me there my first year at Philly. That was
Gotcha.
for, hey, I'll take you to a steakhouse and welcome to Philly.
So when you were over here, did you go to King of Prussia? Because there's a Morton's there, but there are also other steakhouses like Sullivan's, or Philly Chris and I used to frequent.
I've gone to Sullivan's. I haven't gone to the Mortons in King of Prussia, but I went to the Sullivan's over there.
What did you think?
I thought it was a little expensive and not that great.
Prefer Morton's, right?
Yeah, a Morton's, or I enjoyed, I can't think of the name, but there was a steakhouse out in Houston that I really liked.
Have you been to Vegas?
I have been to Vegas.
Any steaks out there?
I don't think I did when I was out there. It was during SHOT Show, so everything was quite crazy and busy. I don't think I adventured to a steak place.
So what is your go-to? Well, did you go to SHOT Show multiple times or just once?
No, that was the only time I went. But
Gotcha.
I ate at the sushi joint that's inside.
See, now you go to Vegas and get sushi. They're flying that stuff in fresh daily from Japan, right?
Right.
Like they have the guy who caught it with his bare hands on the
He goes with
jet,
it.
flying it over and giving it to you. That's what you want. You don't want Oklahoma sushi.
I'll try any of it.
You don't want gas station sushi from the Wawa and.
That
Wawa
sounds
doesn't
nasty.
offer it.
That'd be cool if they did.
Well, I'm glad they don't offer it.
Yeah, me too.
They're doing a service to the community by not offering it. They offer it, somebody's going to eat it, right? Somebody's going to give it a shot.
I would try it.
So,
Try the cook stuff.
all right. I think I've badgered you enough with your favorite steak ice cream restaurant and ask favorite color.
Would you like to know?
What's that?
Would you like to know it?
Yeah, we're not gonna let you off the hook
Yeah,
and
there we go.
leave everybody in suspense.
Oh, do we want to make a guess?
Well, should we say next time when Amanda returns, she can tell us her favorite color and get everybody to tune back in.
We could definitely go that route. You could take a poll and then we could do it.
Yeah,
Okay, and each one of us will show up dressed in what we believe to be your favorite color.
There we go.
All right.
All right, so that'll be our guess. Oh, DG says Ruth's Chris, Morton's, and Sullivan's have had great steaks all at 3 places. Due for one if we're allowed to go without the zucchini.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Ruth's Chris, I went in the city. I say the city, Manhattan, and I still do prefer Morton's to Ruth's Chris.
They are pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Have you been to Ruth's Chris or?
I have. I wasn't a big fan. I like Morton's.
Yeah, Morton's.
That one, yeah.
Morton's.
7 stars, Mike. 7 stars.
7 stars is a good one, but that's for a very specific
Yes, the
kind
prime
of
rib.
meat. Have you been to 7 stars,
No.
Amanda?
I haven't even heard of it.
You lived like right over there too.
Yeah, she wasn't too far from there. It's
Right?
not
Phoenixville?
far from like Kimberton, Phoenixville. 7 stars
okay.
in restaurant.
Hmm.
George Washington State.
Built
It's
in
a
like the
historic place, yeah.
1700s. Like I
Yeah.
walked in there and I'm like ducking because people back then were like 5'5". Apparently.
That's right.
And I
That's
was
right.
I'm like
I'll
on my
have,
knees.
I'll have to add it to my list of go-to restaurants.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
If you'd like
it's specifically for the prime rib though.
Okay.
You go the 7 stars in specifically their prime rib and it's like this big.
Yeah.
So
it's
don't
amazing.
eat anything the rest of the day. No donuts, no nothing. Just go.
Yeah, don't eat for a few days. Yeah.
Not unless you're gonna be prepared to eat that prime rib, eating other stuff during the rest
I
of
think
the
it's
day.
like 48 ounces or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll just make sure I have a range day the next day.
Exactly.
There you go.
Then you can put the leftovers on the dashboard.
It'll work out great.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, champ.
Mhm.
And we look forward to having you back on and discussing news of your victories.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a blast. I
Mhm.
definitely needed this with this cold weather. You guys did a great job. I'm happy I could come and enjoy.
Well, we always love how you're welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you.
Anytime.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good evening. Thanks.
Have a good one, Amanda. Good seeing you. Thank you.
All right. I think that's all we've got for this evening. We could talk about Ukraine for another hour, but
Yeah.
let's
we can.
just leave it light this evening.
Yeah. Probably people have seen enough coverage anyway on the mainstream media about it.
Yeah, every channel you turn to talking about Ukraine. We had some fun tonight.
Yeah, another great episode with Amanda. Yeah.
There you
Anything
go.
else you've got on the agenda?
Buy gold.
Liberty's
It's not
always down.
financial advice.
Yeah,
It's
not financial advice.
When you say buy gold, you mean actually go to a store and buy physical gold?
Yeah, physical gold. Yeah, and
Not
do they
just
still
the
have 'em?
chocolates.
some places do, sure, but I think it's going to get a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty available right now. That and silver.
So what
again, not
increments
financial
do you buy
advice,
those
but-
in?
You can buy it in different sizes, and they have the 1 ounce coins, which are definitely a little bit more expensive, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, do people
Yeah.
have to be willing to drop 15 hundo or whatever it is?
no,
What
you
i-
can
what is
buy
spot
smaller
price right now?
bars. You can go into the city. There's a lot of cool places down on like Jewelers Row where they sell smaller, bars of it and things like that. Jewelry too. You can buy jewelry, certain types of jewelry.
How
but
much is a bar of
Is
gold?
there not a fund you can invest in?
There's funds you can do
that-
it in as
that
well.
track
Sure.
the spot
Mhm.
price of gold or something like
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. Yeah, you can do it that way. There are some reasons to buy the actual metals, which we touched on a little bit in the past, but without getting too into that. And who
DG
knows
says
what's going to
going on with the truckers across the U.S.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
starting-
happening, right?
right,
That's
right,
going to
right.
happen. I
Mhm.
saw this
Mm.
this thing the other day,
Yeah.
or I guess it must have been yesterday, and it was one of the news outlets. I don't want to get it wrong and have them
Mhm.
sue us or anything, but one of the left-leaning news outlets said something along the lines of, "No, gas prices are going up and the market's down and there's supply chain issues due to the Ukraine conflict." And I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is amazing. I guess when I ordered that couch in November that still isn't here yet, they knew this
Right.
Ukraine thing was coming.
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah, yeah.
I guess when the gas prices shot up a year ago, they
Mm,
knew this Ukraine thing was in the works. And
exactly.
when the market tanked,
Honestly, Mike, I wouldn't even doubt that. I wouldn't
Well,
doubt
they're
that
gonna
one.
they had a crystal ball of the Ukraine thing.
Well, we're probably going to see upwards of $5, maybe $6 now. We'll see.
You think
Yeah.
gas is going to get to $6 in Pennsylvania?
It's possible. I mean, the oil prices per barrel are the highest they've been in almost 30-something years, whatever it is now. They're over $100 a barrel, I believe, as of today. So it's going to get interesting, yeah.
I believe back around 08 and 09, I saw it as high as 415 in my area.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes above that, that's really rough. And it's
Well-
part of the reason I had to stop mowing lawns is because I was putting all of my money into buying gas for the lawnmower.
Well, there you go.
And
Time
I'm
to
like,
stock
I
up.
can't do this anymore. I can't.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's
I
sad
think-
times.
I think what's ultimately going to happen is part of me believes that it's artificial. Part of me believes that, maybe it is caused from the global blah, 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 blah. I believe they're going to try and price us out of gas-powered vehicles to make us all switch to electric vehicles.
That's part of it too, yeah. That's a good
Because
point,
there's a number of manufacturers that are like, okay, by like 2030, no more gas cars from us. If you want a gas car, go somewhere else.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we're barreling toward that. I was already thinking about getting my car converted because it's a lot cheaper to pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to convert one of my wind-up cars to electric than it is to buy a $40,000 electric vehicle, brand new.
Mm. Well, it's always an option. But yeah, it's about the same around here, DG. DG was asking about the gas prices. And David Cressman, hey now, David. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to get pretty wild. All the
Yeah.
stuff with Ukraine. So $5, $6, $7. The
I mean,
sky's the limit right now,
Yeah.
especially with inflation. This is why I did mention gold the past few weeks. and silver in the past.
Yeah, but
because-
I can't put gold or silver in my gas tank, Chris.
Well, you can, but it'll store value, and then you'll be able to buy gas at a higher. You'll be able to buy the gas later. So,
Okay.
But, yeah.
Hey, Chris, how much you selling your gold for?
Well,
Do you take plastic?
ask me in a few months.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good show. Good show.
If it's going to reach $7 a gallon around here, then imagine what it's going to be like in California. It's probably like
Yeah. Well, it's already $6 there someplace.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to go around 15 to 20 over there by the time it hits
Mhm.
10 around here.
Yeah. All these very powerful, strong words that Biden used against Putin and his sanctions, that he's going to wait 30 days now to see what happens.
What?
So, yeah. But none of this is by design.
I'm going to give him a very strong disapproving thumbs down.
Exactly.
That'll show him. That'll learn him.
Right. Yeah.
Groceries are
stores,
double
food.
from last year. Yeah, that's about right, because I used to buy Hot Pockets for... It came down to $1 a Hot Pocket. Now it's up to, I think it's 2 of them for $3.50. So it's climbing to, and if that's just for Hot Pockets, which are reasonably cheap most of the time, then
Sure.
I mean everything else is skyrocketing.
Oh yeah.
So the cheapest things right now are probably going to be like pasta.
Mm-hmm. Stock up on rice. And everything's going to go up. Everything's moved by truck. So.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine the convoy to DC is gonna, there's gonna be fewer trucks moving things and more of them parking in DC.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that's not gonna help things a whole lot, and we're all gonna have to endure it.
Right. Right on. Right on. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have, right, Mike?
When will they stop?
Stop with what?
When will the convoy end? What are they seeking?
I have no idea what they're seeking, honestly. The Canadian truckers were pretty clear about what they wanted.
I think it
I don't
has to
know
do
what
with the mandates and the, related to the zucchini and the
Yeah.
potatoes and all that, So, but it,
no
but it is,
more at all, and then they'll stop. Or
I believe that's what they're shooting for. I have to look into it a little bit more. It just kind of kicked off, but I have to look at their actual public goals. But maybe they can have a little more success than what happened in Canada, because it's pretty crazy how they were able to seize their accounts, and they even seized trucks from some of the truckers. Apparently, they're going to auction off their rigs.
wow,
Pretty sure that's
Yeah.
called stealing.
Well, their laws are different up there, so they can get away with it under those
well,
emergency powers that Trudeau, put into place. So it is what it is. Interesting time to be alive.
yeah. Well, we can
Yeah,
just
but
call
that
him
guy-
Castro. He's acting a lot like Castro.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. And we'll see what happens here in Ukraine. Obviously, we'll talk about
what's
it
the
next.
State of the Union gonna look like?
It's just probably going to be a joke. It's all a joke at this point.
Yeah.
It's all a joke.
Are we gonna cover it? Does anybody actually want that? It's on a Tuesday, so we might not be able to.
I may
doubt-
even have a seminar that night.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike's probably got something going on already.
All
anyway.
right. Well,
But
thank
is
you,
it-
Mike,
but we
for
can talk
saving
about
us.
What day is it? Tuesday?
Yeah, I
Tuesday?
think it's next Tuesday or maybe the one after. I don't know. It's March
I think I
1st.
had a conflict that day, but we could do a summary of it after. Yeah.
Mike, remind me to have a conflict that day.
Yeah. Right.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Another good show. Another good show. Peace and
That's
love.
all.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
DG says if you listen to PA, Governor Wolf, we're almost 100% vaxxed.
Oh, wonderful.
Brilliant.
Brian says we all need to start eating mustard.
Time to stock up. Even that's gonna
Yeah,
go up.
forget gold.
Get your bowls. Get your mustard, ladies and gentlemen.
It's liquid
Yeah.
gold.
Bowls of gold. Yeah.
Brian says State of the Union picture of a dumpster fire.
Right. It's like how
Oh.
we ended last week with that Tesla car on fire. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that last week, Chris.
Yeah. It's a good visual, though.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. All right.
We have the best audience members in the world.
Damn right.
Mike G and the Morning Family.
Oof.
You guys always show up. You're
Yeah.
always involved. You always participate.
Ah.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for being here. And we will check back in next week. We've got a very special guest next week. Mental health professional Sarah Macon, who's going to be joining us to discuss addiction.
Mm.
You know, we all had some good laughs about the Joe Biden crack pipes.
See, they're handing those out now. I saw them.
Oh, they're real?
Yeah.
We want you to do crack, but we want you to do
there
it
was something on
safely. So
Instagram, they
here's
were
a
showing
free
the baggie,
pipe.
and there was a legit crack pipe in the bag. Yeah.
Mm.
So, but
Good
So
lord.
Obama had the phone. This guy's got the crack pipe.
yeah, there might as well. Might as well.
But when we were joking about that, I said, addiction really is a serious issue. I don't think we've tackled on this program before.
Mhm.
So it'd be good to have somebody on the program who deals with this stuff
Yeah.
on a professional basis. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. That'll be good.
Sarah will be coming on.
Next week, right?
She'll be coming on next week, 3-3.
week.
Wait, is that? No. What?
Is it
Is
3-3?
that,
You sure about that?
something doesn't
Mike?
seem
Yeah,
right about
it'd
that.
Be
Maybe
3-3.
it is, right? Yeah, because there's only 28 days. And
Yeah, it's
February.
3-3. I just
Yeah,
checked.
it's
Mhm.
3-3. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
3-3.
Yes, that's right.
3-3-2-2. 3-3-2-2. Be there.
3-3. We'll see everybody next week.
Be there or be square. But I'm already
Right on.
square.
Yeah, see? Time for some ice cream.
Yeah.
That's all.
My bad.
That's all the time we've got for today. Stick around for We the People, The Constitution Matters. Pastor David Whitney, Professor Phil Duffy. I'll be joining as your legal analyst. We miss you, Ellie. Daddy loves you.